1,911,844,833 naira and 46. I'll take that again. 1,911 1,911,844,000,000 1,000,000,000. This money is too much for me. 1,000,000,000. I hope that is not on the record. 1,911,840.
I am adore lele, adore lele. Idu kwa samaka onyoma odika powder. Idu kwa samuku onyoma odika fomu. Idu kwa samishi onyoma odika pilo. Oh lo 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 lo, aduru bwebule wakamwa iwariwo. Ice. Rosa Olerio, Rosanna Oleri, Rosanna Olerio adikadimba. Adure Oleri, adure Olerio. Adure bwebule wakamwa iwariwo. Adure lele, adure lele. Idu kwa samaka onyoma odika powder. Idu kwa samuku onyoma odika fomu. Idu kwa samishi onyoma odika pilo. Oh lo 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 lo, aduru bwebule wakamwa iwariwo.
All right. Welcome to this wonderful section. We're going to continue from where Dr. Rudolph signed off. My name is KJ, sitting in for Dr. Rudolph in Dr. Damages. We are here to not only damage the conversation, but to make sure that you get something to take home, from this discussion. Sometimes we may come hard, sometimes we may come peacefully, sometimes we may come on the way you may not understand. Sometimes our guests may give you views that you never thought about. You've not thought about it before. It may be strange, but listen, it's their view, and we respect everyone's view here on this program. And just like that song that introduced us to it, she said, "Oh lo lo lo, atru bweble bakangwa." The atru that has a ble, no get pikino. Is that the situation in Nigeria right now? In Nigeria was atru and without a ble, I was akangwa now. I will now become like what's that word? Like iron, Basira Kala. Well, whatever you may say, whatever you may think, however you may look at it, however you may view it, the situation is that we are living in a very, you know, terrain, we're very uncharted terrain where we are going through, and things are getting wonderful every day in Nigeria. So today is going to be another discussion on what is going on in our nation and how we see it. But largely, we're going to be paying attention to what Dr. Max brought to the table today. And several of us have been able to express our concern with the discussion as it went. Some are in support, some are not so in support, but that's the reason why we are here in Dr. Damages. You are your view is allowed, and we may not all agree, but it's your view, and you are entitled to it. I have behind the stage with me here, Comrade Omo Roye, who is also a very, very wonderful, very important, very highly respected member of this community, and we respect his views. You may not agree with him, you may not even agree with his style of speaking, but that is his style, and we must give him salute for that. Welcome you, sir, to this panel this evening, and you have followed our brother, Dr. Max. What's your general view? Let's start from there. What's the general view of what Dr. Max was able to put forward today?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. KG. It's good to be with you again, man. It's always a delight being here, to rub minds. Greetings to our esteemed viewers across the globe and the fellow panelists that will come aboard later. I want to first of all say he was expressing his individual opinion. Was he trying to impose it on everybody? So, like every historian, if you give them the opportunity to air their view, you always have their own perspective. It's like what they say in law. If you put 5 lawyers in a room, they will have 5 different angles on the same issue. So, same thing with history. Depending on who is telling the story, depending on whose side of the divide it belongs to. So there is always that element of we like to call it bias. You might not necessarily call it bias. They're always tinted towards one thing or the other. They're viewing it from their own angle and the information at their disposal. So that does not make them perfect. That does not make it a holistic truth. It doesn't make it a universal truth about the subject. Let me give you a typical example. If an Igbo man is telling the story of the Nigerian Civil War, for example, it will be different from when a Yoruba man is telling you the story. Okay, namely, not even say Yoruba, those that were on the federal side. So there's always that element of trying to be right or trying to be wrong, and people try to be defensive, depending on what on their aim, depending on what they want to achieve. So generally, I think I like the way he spoke on some issues. Like I said, it wasn't a one type fit-all submission or opinion. And again, I like the way he answered his questions. It was very brief and straight to the point, without any ambiguity. In a sentence or two, he's done with every question that was posed before him. I wish I could speak the way he speaks without straining my voice. It was down to earth, cool, calm, and collected. I like his, the way he dealt with the question. Summarily, I think what he was trying to say about what issue that CM was very, very much angry about. I have my own point too, but if I want to bring it to, I don't want to cause much agitation. Like in my own state too, we have the same problem. If you're telling me, if you want a doorman to discuss about the issue in Kwara, how come they have a emir in Kwara, for example? The doorman's voice will be very loud. Why should emir? It was once a Yoruba state. How come they have an emir there? But when you come to a door to tell them, Oba is not an indigenous word, it's a Yoruba word, they will be quiet. In fact, they will be ready to behead you. So it takes courage to mention most of these things, but we know them. But my advice to Nigerians is that one way or the other, we have bias towards one thing or the other. Like Nigerian Christians, he said he's bringing a pastor very soon to come and address us. Most Nigerian worshippers fear their pastors more than the God that created the pastor. So when you talk about their pastor, they're ready to stone you to death instantly. You know, if you talk about their God the way they don't like, they feel the God is omnipotent of himself and God can take care of you. But when you talk about their pastor, they can stone you instantly. So it takes courage to deal with issues like this. One way or the other, we are biased. And this is exactly what is working against us as a people. Because like CM said, we're never meant to be together. We were forced together in that 1919 amalgamation. It was the wrong foundation. But I don't want to dwell on the problem. We have dwelled on the problem for too long. What effort are we making to right the wrongs that were done in 1914? We are derailing. We are getting worse every day. We continue to blame successive government. You know, we thought Buhari was the worst we could have. Now people are saying Buhari is better than people are missing Buhari already. And people will soon be missing Emilio very soon. And like the last question Dr. Damages asked, where are we going to be? You know, I think it's subjective. Where are we going to be if we continue like this? We're going to get worse. Where are we going to be if we wake up as a people? We'll get better. Wake up and face our challenges. There are a lot of issues facing us. I was asking a Tinubu supporter in a forum. Somebody came on air recently to say, look at the mission. Look at what they sent Buhari to come and do. To counter OPC because he wanted to disrupt their institutions in Kwara. People are letting that kind of sensitive information to slide. And we hope to have a better Nigeria. By now, that man should have been arrested for questioning. Nobody is looking at that. That man was making a very sensitive, submission. Buba Galadima. How they connive together, how they conspire to bring. They said they had two options in mind: either to seize power by through the barrels of the gun, or through the ballot. So they resolved that the first option was not going to work because of Obasanjo being a military general, and because of the way he has disseminated. He has been able to decentralize the Nigerian military. That seizing power through the barrel was not going to be easy. So they opted for the latter, which was through the ballot. So they wanted to look for somebody that have that cause followership from the north. They went to Buhari to approach it. First time he pretended to be reluctant about it. But when they told him the mission, the service agenda, he became interested. Now somebody is telling us, look at what our mission was. Now, they are busy killing everybody everywhere. And we have a list from Dubai, not just from, this one did not emanate from Nigeria. This one emanated from outside Nigeria. Look at the list of sponsors of these people. Nobody is asking questions. There was a time to buttress what Galadima said. The Boko Haram people were ready to negotiate with the federal government. Do you know who they appointed as their sponsor, as their middle person? Was this same Buhari. So why are we surprised that they are busy killing? People that plan the agenda, they are busy telling us, look at what they had in mind. Look at the agenda. We are busy fooling ourselves. Why are we not truthful to ourselves for once? When do we have the courage to speak the truth to ourselves so that we can liberate ourselves from this mental slavery? If we continue the way we are going to get worse. Only a revolution. We walk up together, unity of the people, come together. If we want to divide, I'm not against division, if that will make us better. The man was actually trying to let you know that I have two people here. Sorry to say this, though. My Igbo brothers will not be happy. I have two people here. One is a mechanic, one is a panel beater. Two of them. One is occupying shop 210, the other one is occupying shop 211, to tell you how close they are. One prefers to remain in Nigeria, even if you give them Biafra on a platter of gold right now. And the other one wants to go with Biafra or nothing. And one does not see the other one as a fellow Igbo brother. He wants to tell you everything that makes that one inferior. I think those were the thing. I have another friend here. He had a beautiful girl he wanted to get married to. Beautiful. This guy too, if I tell you as a man, the guy is handsome, you will know what I mean. The guy is handsome, financially okay, at his own level. He had a beautiful bride he wanted to get married to here. They were cool, they were, in love. Only for the girl to come back from Nigeria to say, my parents said we can't get married because we are from so. They are both Igbos. And the boundary is not even up to 10 miles from each other. It's not even up to 5 kilometers from each other. So I think those are the things we need to deal with. Like what I said about my Edo people. Now people are not happy. They want to take my picture and send it to the palace so that they can do something about me. We have them everywhere in our traditional system, in our religious system, in our political system. No, I mean we are not true to ourselves, and we cannot continue the way we are going. We are deceiving ourselves. We are a bunch of hypocrites. We cannot continue like this and expect a better Nigeria. I will stop it there so that somebody can have his or her shot. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I also have with me the Grandmaster himself, the man called Forefathers. Yes, Forefather, you are welcome. And sorry, I don't know what happened. The stream, I don't know whether I went Rudolph logged off, everything just went. I don't know. I can't explain what happened, but we lost the earlier stream, so I had to start another one. So I hope people can be able to pick it up. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Thank you for hosting. Yeah, I was a bit surprised what happened because I saw it was for 2 minutes. I said, what happened to the stream now? Because I was looking to join then. But good, you recovered it and you are going now, so all good. Well done for hosting and thank you for your statement, Omori. Greetings to the chat and to the viewers. So, I think what Omori is saying is that if you are in a situation that you are in right now, there's no use going round and round and talking about conversation, because one of the statements that the guest made that I actually appreciated was that we've had 12 coming together. Nigerians don't seem to learn. It's almost like I don't understand. Is it that we are just trying to avoid doing anything actually, all other than talk? We are men and we just want to keep talking. 12 times we met to have a conversation. Nigerians, so not the Igbo people, Nigerians had that conversation. And we still want to have a conversation. What makes you think after you finish that next conversation, some other person is not going to come out of that conversation and say, I disagree with everything they just agreed with? It's a never-ending cycle. Even in America right now, people in America don't like the Constitution in so many ways. I just watched a program last week where white Americans are saying they don't believe in the Constitution. They want to change it because it doesn't favor them anymore. So people will always want to change Constitution, but look at America as still a superpower because they focus more on action, what they are going to do to move themselves forward. And I also saw a program just before I came on, which is weird, on channels in Nigeria, saying that why is it that our leaders keep talking in divisive language in Nigeria? Is it because the people are divisive themselves? Because when you hear CM talking sometimes, you forget that this guy is supposed to be a well-read human being. In life, let's look at it from this point of view. We have multiple identities. We've always done. And we know how to operate with multiple identities in every area. Even the ones that are failing, we still know how to operate in multiple identities. But when it comes to a national identity, some of us, because of our bias and our prejudices against others, we fail to recognize it. If you have an identity and you don't act in a way that identity benefits you, don't be surprised you don't benefit from it. Why are you surprised? If you have a Nigerian identity, make sure that identity pays for what it's meant to pay for. Make sure the passport is strong. Make sure you have electricity. Make sure the nation is cohesive. It's your identity. You have no choice now. The powers that put us together has put us together. Whether it's the will of God, whether it's their will, but we all know in the end, God moves in mysterious ways. Nations are not formed in a light-hearted manner. You don't just stick people together. It happens with tremendous force of will and power for that to happen. And the fact that we are here now, we have carried the same passport, we like it or not. They just went and won the African Women's DC Cup. Nigeria did. And whether it was a Fulani or a Yoruba or who scored the goal, nobody cares. It's Nigeria. Is that our identity that we carry? If you have problems, change the constitution, moderate in this thing, a kind of amend the constitution, do whatever you need to do. Even if you want to talk about replace the constitution. But don't keep harping on about, we have to break the country up. That is the only solution. That solution, we've tried it before. We were there once. It didn't work. I don't know why we keep thinking that somewhere we'll try the same thing again. It's going to make it any better. If anything, it's going to make it worse. The only reason why Africans look at us as hope right now is because of what we reject most about ourselves. Our size. Our multifaceted religion. Our multicultural heritage. That's the reason why Many parts of the world look up to us. Not the other way around. We are their hope. They look at us as the hope of African people. If you are small, you are easier to take apart. If you are small, if I have to deal with small nations, I will be so happy if I'm a superpower. Can you imagine America having more than 6,000 nuclear weapons spread all over the world, ballistic missiles and everything, and all I have to contend with Africans are tiny, tiny countries, like 20 million here, this million. You are nobody. You dare to speak on my table, I will crush you. I'm telling you, and they are being nice. They are not showing us their teeth.
Okay.
How dare you talk to them?
Is this your opening statement, or you want us to go from there?
It's my opening statement, and my opening statement has not ended. How dare you?
So hold on. So
how dare you come with your tiny nation and come and talk to me?
Okay.
I will pick you to the other end of the earth. And if you wish to be smaller, I welcome you to be smaller, because the smaller you are, the easier for me to control you. Who are you? And when you have the chance to determine your own fate and gather your own people, we are talking about Africa should unite, and some people, the Nigeria that is already united, we want to break that one up. West Africa is not even united. While here in the UK, I'm sitting here in the UK just last week, or maybe just last 2 weeks, Germany ran to the UK to go and sign a defense pact. Germany and the UK fought a war barely how many years ago that killed millions of people. And yet, just because NATO is blinking its eye a little bit, Trump is not behaving the way he's supposed to behave, Germany ran to the UK and they signed a defense pact within a day. Why? Why do they do that? Because they understand that together they are stronger. They already have the EU, they have the African Union, this European Union and everything. They keep signing agreeing with each other. Let's band together. Let's defeat the rest of the world. And that's why they win. They are the best at it. They cooperate more than any group. The United Kingdom have multiple nations and they are not breaking it up. They tried to, it didn't work. They still hung together. Spain has multiple people that want to separate. They still hung together. Okay. Because instead of breaking up to smaller entities, they are forming bigger ones. Because that's how you survive in the world of today. You have no choice about it. If you want to kill your people, create smaller nations. Because if I'm the guy sitting on the other table, I will not even let you near that table. If you don't have 500,000, 500 million population, don't come to that table. Thank you.
Okay. Maybe in the course of this discussion, I will publish courtesy of CM. One of the write-ups that was made before Nigeria was brought together by the British are one of their thinking, their mindset. Because it seems that sometimes when we talk about it, it's because we are the ones they've termed the separatist people. So sometimes the argument don't go down well, as if we're trying to do something that's not in the first place original. But I'll leave that. We'll come to it. And then bear in mind also the question that Dr. Rudolph or Dr. Damages left with us before leaving. What will Nigeria look like in the next 100 years? Going by what we see on the ground now. While we talk on this topic, let's put that in mind while we're talking. What will we be doing differently in the next 100 days? Bearing also in mind that all of us in this panel will not be here in the next 100 years. At that time, even our grandchildren would have been taking over Nigeria if Jesus had not come. What will it be like when that time gets there? Welcome, Okpobolo 2028, the man who wants to promote the best governor in the Midwest. Yes, sir.
You see what I mean? If Okpobolo can be governor of Edo, Siollun will soon be governor of Lagos State. How do we move forward with this kind of people?
No, MC Olomo will be too great. It will be that guy, what they call him, that guy who sings in Yoruba language.
Portable.
It will be Portable. Portable will be best.
These are the kind of people, they read a lot of books, but it doesn't shape their opinion. Thank you. I don't want war today.
Yes, sir. All na politics.
Yeah, point of correction. Monday Paulo is the best governor in the country, not in the region.
All yes. Right.
See, look, I say, when I listen to all the conversation, everybody, even myself, on the low, but I just can't help than to just smile. We are actually making progress, right? We are, for the fact that we have different view about how the country should be, right? That's another thing. But the fact that we are having a conversation about not be some countries they know they see eye to eye, but the people they live in the same country. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a nation. We are building a nation. Whatever is going to turn out 100 years, this is it. This we are already contributing our own. The next generation will come, maybe they will put it to action. Right? So 20 years from now, if 10% of us find ourselves in the National Assembly, these are going to be the debates. So one thing I would take away from the guests is that some things are forming outside the constitution, right? You use the Sharia law as an example, and I just can't help them to say we're evolving, right? In a conversation like this, we're evolving. But one thing I want us to actually do, other than trying to win the argument with superior points, is to just take a step back and recognize that this is how human beings behave, regardless of how the country, how big it is or how small it is. There's bound to be disagreement. Some people will not be satisfied, even if not just one family. That's human, but ability for us to navigate, walk all this through, and achieve something as we progress is what matters. So, as far as I'm concerned, I see a people having a conversation. This conversation it could be the other way around. It could be bullets. It could be so. There's a. I'm really really actually happy that the conversation we are having is centered us on the future, not necessarily what we go talk now. It's about the future. So if the younger generation are listening, whoever they agree with, they will want to put it to action. So the fact that we are angry with that group, say because of that group the country is not moving forward, is a it's not the best way to see it. Because I'm speaking from my own experience, you are speaking from your experience. The nations who got it right, our guests set a very, very, very good example. That the difference between America and Nigeria is that the America, the federation, the colonies, these different states came together and formed a federation. While in Nigeria, it is the other way around. The federation created the states. Right? So and that is a very good way to start. Now that we are here, I'm not listening to that guy, what Nigeria is talking about. Maybe that is Spain. Fine, I don't totally agree with him. How do I meet him halfway? Let me listen to, but until we get to that point, and I believe we are going to get to that point because the framers of American Constitution, they had to sacrifice both ways. Because the main argument within that American context is that is the slavery contest. The South now then they in charge of slavery. That's how they made their own living. The North is the other way around. There's no way we can coexist when they see this kind of art as immoral. But guess what? They had to compromise. Even after they formed that constitution, they had to let the slavery go on for another 20 years. Compromise. So I think that is what we don't seem to understand. If I have to live with you, you can't just tell me whatever I think doesn't matter. I'm not saying you should give me everything because you are not going to get everything. But meet me halfway. Listen to me. Don't say I'm the problem. Okay, fine. Unless you don't want to exist with me. If you don't want to coexist with me, fine. But if you want to coexist with me, you have to listen. You ain't got no choice. You don't have to give me what I want, but you got to listen. At the end of the day, the majority carry the voice, while the minority must have their say. So anybody who is speaking from whatever he believes in, he's having his own say. You got to listen to him because that is how you make a nation. If you say easy to say you not go listen to them, then go ahead and form your own nation. Just keep going. There's a reason you don't want him to go because you need him. But listen, it is a grievances. If this is a conversation we've been having for the past 50 years, that means there's a credit to it.
What
So,
does
and
listen
it's
mean?
not going to stop. And it's not going
What
to
does
stop.
listen
Tunaja,
mean?
hold on. Tunaja, you said even in America, some people say they know what the constitution. That's after 250 years. It is going to keep happening. It's not
Yeah,
going to
but what
stop.
does listen mean? I want to know what your listen mean.
What? I didn't hear you.
When you say listen, what does your listen mean? When you say they should listen to them, what does your listen mean?
Meet is demand. Meet is our own demand. You can't just listen to me and say, "Oh, no matter." Okay, if I no matter, let's say you're gonna have peace.
So your listen
Give me
is
part of
meet
what
my
I
demand.
huh?
What if it's impossible to meet the demand?
There's nothing impossible.
What if
Okay.
they say they want half of the national revenue?
No, if they say they want to have, give them something. What are you offering?
Yeah,
What
but
is your offer?
they've had 12 times this conversation and wrote it 12 times in
It's not,
Nigeria.
we are still going to
No,
have more
no,
100 conversation.
okay. No,
It's going to
Let's
continue.
let
You see,
let's
hold
not go.
on. You cannot put an end to it. So how do you accommodate every conversation, every guy? That's what makes you a nation. So don't just listen to me say, I'm asking for too much.
America had how many amendments to their constitution? Very, very few. They
It's
don't go
still
about
happening.
every
I
time
know. Hold on
and over
now.
again.
Tunanja,
Okay.
I said, Tunanja, you
If
know
you
they
are trying
agree
to
say the
go ahead.
American Federation, both of them make sacrifice. They make sacrifice, both of them, before they form a federation. So let me say that the North have everything to crush the South. Go read their history. They have everything. But with that, just to buy into your own conversation, the bigger the cake, the better for us to be strong. That is why the Northern America stick with the Southern nonsense, even up to today. The war deplorables, where do you think that is coming from? It's still about that fight between them. We're human beings. We are never going to be, our interests will always cross apart. But how do we accommodate each other? You can't just dismiss me, no matter even though we'll be only two people. You can't dismiss me. If you
Okay.
dismiss me, at your merit.
All right. Let's make progress. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think in human development, no time is we're going to all be silent. We will keep talking. Even in the marriage that we have, we keep negotiating with our wives every day. In fact, every discussion sometimes these days that your truth is not different from my truth. Every other thing now has been negotiated. You don't force it down the throat of anybody. And if a family refuses to discuss, then it becomes a problem for movement. But I'll leave that to Mr. Oti to answer. Mr. Oti, what forefather is saying and what Pablo is two divergent opinions. Where do you stand?
Okay.
You think
Good evening.
your next 100 years.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, I listened to forefathers and listened to um, honor politics. I don't know when did you become a Pabelo? Anyway, so both of you are kind of
You be
diametrically
careful
opposed.
when you cross to APC.
Sorry, both of you in your the views are expressing diametrically opposed. Sometimes I just wonder why we like to complicate things. Unnecessary complication. This is common sense. Okay. And then I don't know, we just talk and talk. Now, honor politics is telling us that yes, keep on talking on ending. Talk is good. There's no problem with that. But the question is, that talk has to be directed. I mean, solution directed. You're talking, looking for. You have to identify the problem. Okay, and then you have that talk, negotiation. He also said that because in the context of, I mean, what the talk is about living together. Okay, and if one of the discussion partners or a partner doesn't want to be part of the project, the unification, the unity, it should be let go. Has that happened in Nigeria? No. So forefathers, on the other hand, is saying, oh, we've talked too much, 12 times. We should not stop talking, we're talking, And then he said something. Oh, nation building is something, it's a serious business. There has to be, force of will. So I ask you, forefathers, whose will? Whose way? Who's gonna force that unity? So unity by compulsion. People. It doesn't matter how people feel. Whether they want that unity, you have to force it. Whose will? Now, I'm sure we are aware of the discussions going on in Nigeria. They call them the patriots. I'm not in Nigeria. None of us are here in Nigeria. But we know what's going on in Nigeria. Serious business and discussions taking place in that country. And I'm sure we also know the caliber of people engaged in this discussion. Okay, they're not fools. I don't think any of us here can, pretend to be wiser, more experienced, more knowledgeable than these people engaging in this discussion in Nigeria currently. What are they talking about? So if you care to listen, pay attention to what they're discussing, I for one, it makes a lot of sense to me. And this is a kind of simple solutions to problems that are quite obvious, identifiable. They're not just talking for the sake of talking. Their problem is the will, the political will, okay, to actually grasp the solutions that are there to be grasped, achievable, attainable, practical. But then the problem, you see, it's not, as I said, it's not rocket science. This talk and maybe give examples, America, this, it's all nonsense to me. It's simple. Why do we need to complicate things? We know our country, we live there, we know at least the history, how we got to where we are. And what is so difficult sitting around and they said, look, this is the problem we have, and then this is how we solve it.
We've had 12 of them.
Hold on, excuse me. You insist on unity and cohesion. It's not by force. Okay? So you want to force people to belong to a nation, and then you don't want to also, you don't believe in equity, fairness, or equality, and you think, so what are you talking about? Where does that, how do you want to do that?
Okay,
So,
thank you.
what is stopping them to implement that political will? What do you think is stopping it?
Okay,
The political
right.
will
Okay,
to sit down.
let's hold on.
Let me answer the question. A simple answer.
Oh, it's a simple
A simple
question.
answer. Because at the moment, people that have the power to implement it, they don't have. It's not in their interest. They don't have the political way, because again, it's something that is not. It shouldn't be strange to you.
No, you said no because you said it's that simple. I'm not saying it's strange. It's not strange to me. You said it's that simple.
Let me answer your question.
Let's move. Let's move.
So people can capture a state. Okay, a state is an instrument. Okay, that's what
I
happens.
agree.
Are you with me?
Yeah, but so how do we take it back?
Okay,
right.
So that's the next question.
That's a different question. Okay, that's a different question. But at least we have to identify what the problem is. So we have to know what the problem is, and not engage in this, kind of trying to, all this kind of.
The problem is disagreement. If what they say makes sense to you, it doesn't make sense to me. You don't want to force it to make sense to you.
All right, now let's
discussing.
It doesn't make sense to you.
Yes.
What makes sense to you? What makes sense to you?
What makes sense to me?
Yes.
The alternative, which is dual sovereignty. Dual sovereignty.
What does that mean?
Power of the state, and power of the federal government to check themselves for the benefits of me. So give me my sovereignty.
Pablo, please wait.
You already have your sovereignty, but you don't even know it.
No, hold on. Let's not do that, so we all can discuss and be able to hear each other and harmonize our points. We will get to the point of this. I read this issue last week. What is sovereignty? And who is sovereign in Nigeria? Does it belong to the National Assembly or it belongs to the people of Nigeria? That's a question that is begging for answer. But let us go to Bro Ike, who has also listened to what Oti have said and the argument thereof that's springing up from Mr. Okpabolo. Now, the question is, why have we been discussing and nobody has the political will to implement what is being discussed? And will the Emeka Anyaoku's group that has sprung up over this time and saying that Nigeria is at the brink or brim of breaking down, and these things must be achieved within now and 2016 and 2026. If not, we may not have a country. Do you agree with that assertion?
JJ, the thing is, for me, that not having the political will to do what is right in Nigeria is because the people we have entrusted the power to have the political will was not chosen by the people. And because of that, they don't represent you or me. They represent themselves. And if they have the political will to do what is right, they are going to lose a lot of things. And they are not ready to lose the power that they think they have. They are not ready to lose their personality. They are not ready to lose the position they think they occupy in the society, either in their community, in their towns, in their cities, and in the country at large. They don't want to lose the authority of 50 motor convoy. And when he goes into the church, everybody will stand up, he will walk in. Or today, as they are holding umbrella for Mr. Wike as rain is falling in Abuja, those are the things that they are not ready to lose. And that's why they don't have the political will to do what is right for you and me, right? So, but at the same time, people like us, we don't listen to what they say on national televisions and what they preach to us, because we know that what they preach to us in reality is not what is done and what they are doing. Because if they are doing what is preached, probably me and you will not be here talking about the way forward for Nigeria. So not having that political will is based on the fact that, because, like first thing I said, and also secondly, also I believe the second thing is because they believe that if they do that political will, they believe that they are favoring some people, and those people they think they are favoring, they don't want to favor them. And because of that, everybody keeps their political will and the political power to make the right decision. So like Oti was saying, not having that political will to do the right thing, you have forced people to live together, not even on their free will. Because I'm telling you, as we are talking about, if there is a referendum today that is done in Nigeria, free and fair and credible referendum, Nigeria will divide into 50. Because people want to have their freedom. Because we don't have a country called Nigeria. So, and because if we have those countries, these people will lose their relevance in the society. They will lose their political power that they think that they have. Because Nigerians have accepted to believe that they have the political power. Just like Ovie was talking about sovereignty, what Ovie said is true. We are not free. We are not sovereign. We don't have the sovereign. They will claim to have. Forefather jump in, said you have it already, but you don't know, right? So, how do you have it? Where the federal government of Nigeria is almost controlling everything in Nigeria. Where is the sovereignty of the states? Where the state governor of a state in Nigeria, his hands are tied at his back, that he doesn't have any power to control security in his state. So where is the sovereignty? The sovereignty of somebody sitting in Asorok, and every problem of Nigeria is in his table. Even the one that are not supposed to be in his table is under his table. So I don't know where the sovereignty comes from. So I just believe that Nigeria as a country is not a country, because what Oti said, you don't force people to believe, to agree with you, but you discuss with people based on a mutual understanding and respect for everybody. You don't impose yourself on Ovie, and Ovie should not impose himself to Oti. So goes to forefathers, but that is not what is obtainable. Some sections of Nigeria want to impose themselves to some sections of Nigeria, but not coming on the round table to have an honest and hard and delicate conversation, painful conversation, that if we can be open to it and be honest to ourselves. The solution to our problems is at the tip of our fingers. But because I am coming with a position that this is my position, and the other person is coming on that this is his position or her position, based on that, those people who feel that they have the same position, they now march together to claim that they are majority. So when you go to that round table talk, you are no more coming with an open mind to discuss with me and Oti and everybody, for all of us to say, okay, this is what I think. That if all of us can agree on this, this is what I think the result is going to be. But what we have in Nigeria today, they will tell you they are coming to a round table talk with a ulterior motive already in their mind that it is this way or nothing. And at the end of the day, what we get. So for Anyoku Group, giving us 2026. Well, I don't see crystal ball. I'm not God. And I cannot claim to be God. I am a human being. I have a spirit. And I have a soul. And I live in a body. So at the end of the day, I don't know what happens tomorrow. The only thing that I know that happens tomorrow, that if I go to bed tonight, by the grace of God, I sleep and I wake up tomorrow, I can be talking about my tomorrow. But even as we are talking here, I don't know what is going to happen in the next minute. KJ, you gave an example. Husband and wife. We discuss every day. Sometimes it's an ugly discussion. Sometimes it's a painful discussion. And that's why we do it in a place where that the children have gone to bed. The children are already sleeping. Husband and wife go into their bedroom and discuss tough and painful and annoying conversation in order to keep that marriage. And when that conversation is taking place, if both parties did not come into that conversation with an open mind, that's why we have divorce. That's why we have crisis in marriage. But if both parties come into that conversation with an open mind to say, I am sorry, I recognize, now I remember and I recognize what you're saying. I am sorry for what I did. And the other person said, I accept my mistakes and everything you said is true. Then, when we all agree together, we say, okay, which is the way forward?
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate your contribution, bro. Now, I want to go, hold on, Moire. I want to take a different turn in this very conversation we're having now. So we're going to go very quickly, and we're going to go through yes or no, and then I'll come back and I'll tell you the reason why we're going in that direction. All right, Dr. Marx raised a lot of issues, and one of which is that Nigeria, we cannot, if we tinker with it, perhaps we will not get the required result. I want to find out something so we can move in a direction. And what the direction I want us to move is if what can be done now, looking into the future from where we are now. Forefather, will you say that there is a rule of law in Nigeria, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, okay, there's rule of law in Nigeria. All right. Comrade, will you say there's rule of law in Nigeria?
There is no rule of law in Nigeria. What we have is the rule of men.
Yes, yes
okay, there's no. It's on paper, but it's not in practice. It's meant for the law is meant for the commoner.
Hold on, just relax. We are coming back. There's no rule of law. All right, Okpablo, will you say that there's a rule of law in Nigeria?
Yes.
Yes, there's rule of law. Okay. Well, Oti, will you say there's a rule of law in Nigeria?
No.
Okay, thank you. Ike, will you say there's rule of law in Nigeria?
No.
Okay, thank you. Stake Homo, it's good to see you. We'll give you an opportunity to talk later, but for now, will you say there's a rule of law in Nigeria?
No, not at all.
All right. Okay, for those who say there's rule of law in Nigeria, you are two of you, right? And then the rest of us say there's no rule of law in Nigeria. Now, so far, I start from you. What gives you the reason why you say there's rule of law in Nigeria, and give us with examples of what has happened recently in the law court whereby the rule of law was adhered to?
Just because elites get away with stuff doesn't mean, by and large, thousands of judgments that are passed every day is not based on the rule of the law of the nation.
Okay, sorry. Let's put this so I will not run everywhere. Who implements the rule of, if there's a rule of law in a nation, who brings it to pass? Who executes rule of law in Nigeria?
The judges and the law enforcement officials.
And the law enforcement, that means the government and
Yes.
those who have the ability to send somebody to prison, right?
Yes.
Okay, so can you now apply the rule of law in the case of Natasha versus the National Assembly?
You can apply it to an extent. The point you are trying to make, and the reason why some people say there's no rule of law, is because when it comes to the elites, there's a little bit of laxity and flexibility with the way they apply the laws. If you want to ask me whether this is unique to Nigeria, I'll tell you no. But if you want to ask me that whether this is a problem in Nigeria, I'll say yes. But to say that there is no rule of law, then have you ever lived in a lawless environment? Do you know what it looks like?
Defend your stand, Father. We have 3 minutes.
Can I?
No. Hold on, Oti. You are coming. Relax, will they? Yes, defend your this. You have 3 minutes, Father.
See, okay. So one, there are thousands of judgments that are passed every day in Nigeria. Most of them are based on the rule of law. If somebody steals, they get their necessary due punishment. You have a car accident, they settle it based on law, that the law of the land. So many laws, what they call it, divorce laws, name it. The idea that there is no rule of law in Nigeria is just crazy. 200 million people will go crazy without any order. There is. And this is one of the problems people have when they say there's no rule of law, because they don't understand that there are a lot of people doing good work out there in the country, keeping the country going while we pretend as if there's no rule of law. When we say there's no rule of law, we are talking about the top. The people at the top. That's what we are truly referring to. That they operate with impunity, they rig elections and they get away with it. Yes, that is true. But is that unique to Nigeria? It's not unique to Nigeria. The problem is that our own
constitutional order.
The problem is that our own rule of our own impunity at the top doesn't lead us to any progress. Trump is operating with that crazy impunity right now. But he's an ex-convict, for crying out loud. He's ruling the country. And yet that country may still progress. Why? Because there is something that they do that we don't do. We have given our rights away to progress, to determine our fate, to other people to control. Most of our nation, we are not controlling ourselves. That is where our true problem is. The idea that there's no rule of law. If you see where there is no rule of law, you will know. You will not even land. There will be no airport to land. They will steal everything from you immediately. The gangs that you're going to meet at the airport. Who do you think is keeping the gangs away?
Okay, I don't know if you want me.
It's only goes from heaven.
Okay, thank you. You've expanded your 3 minutes. Yes, comrade, your turn.
Yeah, I think thank you, KJ. This is a very vital information. I think we're missing something here. People are just shooting from every direction without knowing what we're talking about. The rule of law, first of all, we'll start from the basics, the definition. The rule of law means application. It signifies, it's a principle that signifies that all persons, institutions, entities within a territory are subjected or accountable to the law. And it's a principle that gives you, that tells you that no man is above the law. So that if you talk, you know what you're talking about. And you sleep and wake up does not mean we're operating under the rule of law. So if some people are above the law in Nigeria, the law is made for the common man. The man that steals a goat goes to prison, he can remain in detention for 10 years without trial, 20 years without trial, and the man that has just stolen 100 billion, he sees as forgiven because he's of the APC. I don't know what you understand by rule of law. And that takes me back to the point Mr. Ike was making earlier about the sovereignty. He was talking, he made some very valid points, but he was ascribing the sovereignty on its own refers to supreme authority within a given territory. It signifies the power of people to govern themselves without external influence. So he was ascribing your sovereignty that's supposed to belong to us, that we have failed to utilize to the maximum. You are ascribing it to certain individuals because we have not done what we're supposed to do. They take advantage of you. It does not mean there's no sovereignty. There's sovereignty, but we're not utilizing it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Yes. All politics. I don't like to call that name because he passed that bubble.
There is sovereignty, but there's no rule of law. I'm confused.
There are two different things. There are two different things. Don't come here with your.
Hold on.
They're not the same thing.
Don't go far.
If you want to counter, let him counter me.
If he's confused, then it's my turn. If he's confused, then it's my turn. Then you can leave him. You can pass him. If you don't want to say anything.
Hold on. We have enough this thing. Go ahead. I own politics. Your time starts now.
He's confused.
Oh, no. Don't hurry. A matter of speaking, he has his points.
You see, if you don't want to listen, allow other people to listen. I never said sovereignty and what do you call them? Rule of law. I never said they are the same. I just said I am confused that yes, there is we have sovereignty, but we don't have rule of law. So that's why I say I'm confused. I never said they are the same. It's read along the line. Now, I campaigned, I brought the issue of sovereignty. I did not say, I said dual sovereignty. People should listen before, don't listen to just to argue.
There cannot be dual sovereignty. Sovereignty belongs to the people. You can't use your idea and create another sovereignty.
No,
let's be straight here. Enough of
comrade, we have plenty. We have long way.
We are adults. We are adults here. You spoke.
Okay,
I allow you to speak.
Now. Hey, relax. Time begins now. Go ahead.
That doesn't mean I agree with everything you said now. I'm not speaking here because of you. So when I say dual sovereignty, see, we need to understand that what we are practicing is not divine. It's not out of the blue. We are following a blueprint that is already out there, which is the United States Constitution and how it governs itself. Can disagree you want. That is exactly what we are copying. Yet it is not dot to dot. But I think we need to understand this idea where constitution they come from, because they'll say that there's no law, but that means there's no constitution. No country will deal with us. I have my passport. America accepted it because yes, I'm coming from a country that has the rule of law. That's by the side. When America getting their independence, the fear was the colonies are not too strong enough because all that foreign nations are still hanging around. The Spanish are still occupying Florida. In fact, 12 years later, British has to come back. So it's a part of that fear that they assembled in Philadelphia. 6 months rigorous debate. They went there to alter the constitution, to amend the constitution. But they came out with a brand new constitution. That is when the work began to begin bringing all the colonies into the acceptance of that. You have to persuade them. You have to give and take before they accept the new constitution. Because when they ask Lincoln, what will you give us as a people? They say, is it federation or monarchy? Is it a republic or monarchy? We give you the republic if you guys can protect it. Now, the argument there was dual sovereignty because everybody is different. New Yorkers are New Yorkers. Rhode Islanders are Rhode Islanders. They don't know themselves. Until the Civil War era, the New Yorkers believe that they're New Yorkers, they're not Americans. But what is because they have to now say, as a New Yorker, the agreement was the sacrifice they made for themselves is that as a sovereign individual, in order for your rights to be guaranteed, it is better when you have two forces fighting over you, which is where the state sovereignty come from and the federal government sovereignty come from. Up to today, Americans don't elect their president directly. States do.
Sovereignty does not belong to the state, to the country. You're misleading people here. You don't decide it. Sovereignty belongs to the people, not the state. What is he talking about?
If you keep interrupting, we'll not have this debate.
We
should, in as much as you don't need to interrupt him, we should not mislead our audience. They cannot come here with their own innuendos every time, and we just accept them hook, line, and sinker. Enough of these manipulations.
Why don't you just hold on? When it gets your time, you can use all the time counter what he has said. But for now, allow him to make his point, and he has made his point, and we all understand it. Okay, he
If you
has made
know
a
all
very,
these
very,
things,
very valid
if you
point
know if you
that
know all these things that
Oh
I'm
God.
saying, why you no use your time to talk? This is
hold on,
disrespectful, man.
hold,
Go
hold on.
ahead, man. I know. I see. I don't talk. I only debate my equals. I can't be
We
exchanging
cannot allow
words
you
with
Hold,
to
somebody.
mislead our
on,
audience. You are
Go
man.
ahead.
misleading
Go
Now
ahead.
you're
people.
going far now. Don't let us start this thing again now. Listen, he has made a very wise point, and sometimes
Speak. I'm too big for this. You
we
guys should continue.
Nigerians we Nigerians don't understand that the American Constitution is not a democracy; it's a republic. Okay, and we don't understand that. Most times, it's difficult for us to understand. We keep referring to the democracy in America, and Americans tell themselves we are a republic. They keep telling you that each time you have an opportunity to speak to them, they tell you we are a republic, and they quote what Ovie just quoted. That is what the founding father said. It's a republic if you can keep it.
Sorry, what is the
Okay,
difference between
means that
republic and democracy?
there's
I'm
a
curious.
big
That's what I'm
difference. I will
trying
get
to
to that.
describe.
I'm
Okay,
But some
now
curious.
people, everybody call
hold on,
America call zoo. Don't
hold
be
on,
everybody come here call zoo, my brother. Just stay
hold on,
your lane.
hold on, Ovie, hold on, Ovie.
If you know
Hold
all
on.
these things, you use your time to talk.
Please hold on
It's
now, brother.
disrespectful.
Hey, you guys, I don't understand it now. You see, this is what they say about black people. We cannot have an argument, without going over each other. We shouldn't do that now.
It's not an argument.
We are
Sorry,
Just
royalty.
sorry,
All
excuse
of
me.
us
KJ,
are
if you're
royalties here.
moderating and you ask a question, let the
All
person
right.
speak to answer the question, and then instead of
Yes.
just
Go ahead,
Why the
Oti.
deviation? Why the conspiracy theories? We don't need all that. Go straight.
excuse me. KJ, you asked a simple question, okay?
Yes, go ahead,
So,
Oti.
well, we could have just still answer the question if somebody has the answer. Now, listen. I thank Mori, okay? Because I don't think I can, even answer the question better than he did. Now, the rule of law, okay, we don't have it in Nigeria, and you see, first of all, you have to have a constitutional order. Let me refer again to him, because it means rule of law that every authority, legislative, executive, including the judiciary, are subject to the law, right? So now in Nigeria, we see the House of the Legislature, Senate, how they well, I can give you concrete examples. The trial of Nnamdi Kanu, for example, okay, and the Nigerian government, have they obeyed the law? Okay, what the president did in River State against the Constitution, clear principles of the Constitution, is that obedience to the law, obeying the law? We see, of course, how the Senate behaved when the Constitution clearly, provides that they have to have a vote.
A vote, not a voice vote.
Yes, a voice note. Okay. So in an environment like that, is it because there are, no wars, because you can travel, land in a country, and then you take that country to be governed by the rule of law? No, that's not it. Okay. Or maybe because the little people are subject to the law, are punished, but not the big men, the people you call elites. No, there's no rule of law. So these things are qualitative, and then there's no point kind of talking about the extreme case. Even in a state of war, there's still laws apply, but relatively, comparatively, qualitatively, you can describe Nigeria to be a country governed by the rule of law. There's no way. I mean, So can you sue your president? Okay, he may have immunity, but really, can you? Does he think he's subject to the law? And then he goes to the National Assembly instead of the your president just by on his whim changes the national anthem, okay, and then goes to the National Assembly and not the national anthem, but rather his own, I don't know, his
His own
mandate.
item.
Come on. This is a joke. And then somebody's telling me now that this country is governed by the rule of law. You're not serious. Did you listen to Maria? Did you learn something? I hope you did. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, so let me add a little bit, one more block to this
Can
question.
I have my time now?
Oh no, you had more than 5 minutes. I wanted you to speak. So just hold on.
5 minutes. How many you take 3 minutes? He only just the talk. I didn't listen to him. I was leaving this guy to talk.
No, I was
I didn't say anything. I know
listen,
make any of my point before him begin to. You know, say
both
waiting
of
people.
you.
People know they read
Hold
the
on,
book. What is that? No,
hold
na
on,
conspiracy.
hold on. All the qualities. Both
People
of
should
you are
not come
very.
here with their APC mentality
Hold on
to
now.
mislead us every time. We
Sorry,
should be guided. Let's look at the
Godfather,
topic.
please
Not
let me
creating,
conclude
not creating your own narrative.
Now, listen. Both of you are very important members of this
But
this
let me
house.
take my time. I need
Hold
my
on,
time back. That's what
hold
I'm
on.
saying.
Let me talk now. Both of you are very senior members of this house. We shouldn't be trying to put people behind stage or stop you when you're talking. That's what I'm trying to avoid.
I am not
That's
the
the way
one
you treat
misbehaving
elders.
now. No,
Please,
sorry.
please.
I didn't interrupt it. Now he didn't misbehave here. Please,
Okay,
there's a difference here.
I am here.
He's the one being a baby. He's a kid.
I am here
I'm
to
a grown
control
man.
the
I don't
narrative.
interrupt people that talk. I'm a grown man.
Look,
I'm very intelligent. I'm educated. I would say myself like
You
that.
feel you know
hold on
everything, but you don't
now.
know
Calm
nothing.
down.
You're empty. You're
Hey,
empty, man.
hey.
What is up, Begolo and show what
I
it
don't
is? Can
understand
you
it.
just guys just take it
You
easy?
guys are very
Take it
senior
easy.
members of this thing.
Eh?
How
So
can we be
all
talking to
you
you?
ask an old man to do is to behave. Now you know if you do so, an old man.
Okay, everybody calm down. Calm down.
Obie, come on, man. You are really having a go at him now. Come on, take it easy now.
Calm down.
Let's
No,
call
You be like,
Obie
I
out.
should know your papa. You be like, I
Obie
should know
is
your
really
papa. I should know your
leave
papa
him.
now.
See now he too has started now. Oh God, you two have started now. Leave
All
him.
He's
of
a
you,
grown man.
all
We
of
Leave
don't
him
you
alone.
behave for
now.
public.
listen,
Stop all this
listen.
now.
We have enough video. We can just run this program without people here. We can, me and
I'm
Forefather
just
can
asking
discuss.
for my
We
time.
can
I
discuss
just
for
ask
two
for my
hours
time now.
and be happy and go away. If you don't want us to discuss, we can just put everyone behind and just talk.
All right, I'll go after the last person. Don't worry. I'll
All
take
right,
my time.
all right.
Let me be the big boy. Let me
Mike,
be the bigger man. Let me be the big boy
listen,
here. I'm the
Mike,
bigger man. Okay?
we have people on the who are listening to us. Calm down, people. Mr. Ike. Now we all, I think majority of us say the rule of law is not working. But let's ask, just in case you have somewhere along in your mind that there seems to be some form of rule of law, why is it applying to the rich and the powerful? And I give example of what is going on and I want to use an example of Justice Binta Nyako in her courts, because Justice Binta Nyako is the same person who was on the case that Oti mentioned earlier. Now, but I'm going to draw your attention to two things that happened in this instance. During Nnamdi Kanu's trials, the Justice Binta Nyako gave several orders to return Nnamdi Kanu to the correctional centers, which is the prison. But the DSS never agreed for once to do it. She also gave orders that they should give him a change of clothes. The DSS, in fact, that order took like 5 times before, until the last time she said, if he comes back in this court another time, this court will not sit. Then they decided to offer him some clothes, which he didn't like. And that's why he keeps still wearing that finite this thing. Now, but I'm bringing your mind to a new set. The last time Senator Natasha appeared in the court, and she filed a case, and the case to this moment have not been given any hearing. But after her, 3 weeks later, the Senate filed a case. It was given a date of hearing, and in that date of hearing, when the Akpabio side was granting press statements and making press statements, Natasha also made her own press statement, and now she was held contempt of court by the same individual, Justice Murtala Nyako, who could not hold the DSS to account contempt for several times, now quickly awarded 5 million naira against Natasha. If we are dealing with the rule of law and justice for all at all level, and if the lady justice in Nigeria is totally blindfolded, should we be seeing such cases like this? Remember also that Yahya Bello had gone to court to ask for his passport because he was sick and had a very serious health issue, wanted to go abroad to treat. the GSS denied, or the court denied releasing the passport on the basis that it's not within their own jurisdiction. Okay? 2 weeks later, or less than 1 week, 2 weeks later, Yahya Bello marries a new wife in the same country where this is happening. So look at all this thing holistically. Will you say that we are actually running a country that rule of law matters to anybody?
Absolutely nothing. No. I wanted to, before I go to your, I want to ask forefathers. He's living in London. Forefather, just in 30 seconds or 40 seconds, why did Boris Johnson lose his premiership in Britain? What was the reason why he lost?
The party voted him out.
The what?
His party voted him out.
I know he has a party, but what was the reason why he lost the election?
Because he lied to the people. That his popularity came down. He lied to the people. But he's done that before. He lied to the Queen, but they forgave him. But they chose this time to remove him. So that's what happened. They replaced him with another prime minister,
the removal of Boris Johnson. Okay, you have answered. The removal of Boris Johnson, is it only because he lied, or because what happened during the COVID? It has something to do with COVID also?
Yeah, he lied about the COVID. He lied. Okay. He's also made that, but the COVID one is the most damaging one, because he also lied to the parliament.
Okay, thank you. That's a country governed by the rule of law, where there is no respecter of persons. That's where you live. But in your own country, Nigeria, you are claiming there is rule of law. Just this simple example that KJ gave. And also in the same country where say there is rule of law, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, what he is doing with the lands in Abuja, and standing before Nigerian television, before the world, and said nobody can do him anything, and no court, no judge can try him. That's your country. That's your government. So, for you to say that there is rule of law in Nigeria, where somebody that stole a chicken was sentenced to death, the politicians who steal billions are given chieftaincy title in Nigeria and are left to walk free. For the sake of the governor of Osun State, who saved the young man who stole a chicken, he was sentenced to death in Nigeria. And your political elite and those who are claiming to control the country, the destiny of Nigeria, all of them are walking free in Nigeria. And you say that there is rule of law. The policeman who is at the checkpoint, what is his primary responsibility at the checkpoint? He will do his own work, do the work of the road safety, do the one that is not even accounted to him, all in the name of the uniform of Nigerian police that is wearing. In Nigeria, when the red light show, some will stop. The politicians will drive with their convoy, even with the red light on, And if you drive, if you're unlucky, you drive past, you are arrested and probably imprisoned and sent to prison. So I say it everywhere. If we keep playing politics with what is going on in your Nigeria, because you have a vested interest in whatever area of Nigeria you think you have invested interest, I want to remind all of us that is here. Everything I say, every word I speak, whether I am honestly saying it because that's what I believe I understand, or if I am intentionally saying what I am saying, which whichever one I am doing, there is a day of reckoning for Brother Ike. I am going to receive in millionfold what I have said. So there is no two way to get around it. We can pretend all is well. We can quote laws that every time we want to talk about Nigeria, we bring America, we bring France, we bring Germany, we bring Sweden, we bring every countries of the world. And each and every one of us are living in those countries. Where you know, if there is a place they say you don't drop waste bin, you don't drink a bottle of Coca-Cola you drink, you don't drop it anywhere. And when you finish, you go there and you drop it. But when you go to Nigeria, when you finish, you kick it like football. It doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you, Ike. Thank you, Ike. I'm coming back to you. Please hold on. Today we're going to have a debate. It's not going to be every anyhow and anyhow. No. In fact, what the last statement you made, I just learned a very easy lesson. Some days ago outside my house. I had done some cutting of the flowers and trimming and all that, and I put it in. I drained it properly inside a polythene into these big waste bin bags, and I left it outside. And then here come the people who are picking stuff, and they came and they were going. I said, no, hey, come back, man. What are you doing? This one, he said, oh no, we're not touching that. I said, what do you mean not touching that? It's not in the waste bin. He said, no. First and foremost, it's in the wrong color. I say, really? Okay, let me get the color. Which color you need? Say, second of all, the dustbins that are outside, none of them have the color for that green leaf. Hello, guys. Are you understand what I'm saying? None of them outside can contain that flower that has been cut. It has to be the particular color that it must be inside for it to be carried. So these are people who they have ruled out their laws, and you must follow it. You know, get big man, you know, get small man. You know, get whether you live for upstairs or you live for downstairs or in my lady's chambers. You must follow it. When shall we get there? And that is what I'm coming to. I stay humble with. I stay humble. A forefather and one or two other persons. Is it? Yeah, they have said that the rule of law also operates at a particular level in Nigeria.
KJ, please, 1 second. 1 second.
Yes. Take a 1 second.
The issue of the waste, you say, where I live, every Friday is my neighborhood. If you put your waste in your waste bin and it's not covered completely, if they come to your house, they will leave your waste bin. It has to be covered completely. If you put anything that will make the cover to look like this, they are not going to take your waste bin. Thank you.
Thank you. It's simple. You see, I want us to understand rule of law in these simple terms. Obeying the simplest, minutest things will lead you to obeying the bigger ones. But if you can't even obey the small one as driving against traffic, waiting for traffic light, then how are we going to look like in the next 100 years as America is planning for their next 150, 250 years? We are looking at our next 100 years. How is it going to be? How will it be? Will we still have a nation that people will be, obedient to the law of the society? And then as you look at that, also look at use the issue of, okay, we'll come to that. Let's not mix them. Go ahead, sir. You have 3 minutes. You are muted.
Oh, 3 minutes. Oh my God.
Three.
I wonder how I will compress.
No, we have to go fast so everybody can talk and we all can get to a very high
level. So I think that the rule of law does not exist in Nigeria. I don't want us to deceive ourselves with so much theory and rhetoric. You understand? We don't want to be the smartest people in the room, by just using word salad, able to say, oh, this or that or that or that. Yeah, I know the gentleman called Forefathers is here with his, numerous conspiracy and theories and the rest of them. But beyond that, the territory called Nigeria may continue to exist. Yeah, like the geography may continue to exist in the next 100 years. But the question remains, will it be a nation, a cohesive nation, or will it just be in ruins? You understand? So it's really difficult to say what it will be. Yeah, but I mentioned previously that the solution, whether people want to debate it or not, whether people will come in here to give us theories about America, to give us theories about the UK or what, Nigeria is not working. Nigeria is the business venture of the British. Nigeria was crafted to favor the British, regardless of what happens to the millions of idiots as they think we are living in the Nigeria. They don't care about us. Whenever they think about Africa or Nigeria, what they just think about, you've had Donald Trump mention Africa numerous times. What he just mentions are the minerals. They just mention the mineral resources. They don't care about the human beings. The human beings in Africa don't matter to them. That's the same way the human beings in Nigeria don't matter. As we speak, you know, there are British people working in Nigeria. Every day, Germans are coming into Nigeria. British people are coming into Nigeria. British doctors working in Nigeria are paid 10 times the Nigerian doctors. British doctors working in Tanzania are paid 10 times more than the Tanzanian doctors. They are there all over the place, even in battle-ravaged remote areas of Africa. They are there. They are not just working, you know, they are also representatives of their government, you know, over there. I was discussing with someone last week, someone from Eastern Europe, yeah, and I told the person that there are British people in Nigeria. I said, "Oh no, it's unsafe, Nigeria." I said, "They are the owners of Nigeria. You know, whatever unsafety, whatever hazard is there, they were the ones that created the hazard. So they are not afraid of the hazard. You know, if you have some boys that have created some chaos in the neighborhood, say cultism and the rest of those boys are not afraid. They walk freely. Yeah, the common man, you know, will be afraid to walk in so neighborhood because it's unsafe. But the rough boys will be walking free. You see? So the territory, whether we like it or not, let's not deceive ourselves. You have studied the history of Nigeria, followed Nigeria's political trajectory and political history right from primary school, religiously, you know, bit by bit, tittle by tittle, jot by jot. And Nigeria has continued to decline. Nigeria has continued, it is unworkable. You understand? So the home truth is that the country is not working. And yeah, and we need to come together. I heard someone say, "Oh, that we have met several times to deliberate." We didn't meet. What happened is that the colonial masters and their puppets just picked few people who are loyal to them, picked few politicians to assemble in Abuja. What I'm talking about is the ethnic nationalities sending people to represent them. The Ogoni sending people, the Jos sending people, the Bachama, whatever ethnic nationality, whether they are 100, whether they are 500, whether they are 1,000, sending people that they know. These people are the people that will represent us. Even the religious organizations, whatever groups in Nigeria, sending people and them meeting together. That has never happened in Nigeria. What has happened in Nigeria during Obasanjo or Jonathan, what was that? Few politicians were selected to meet in Abuja and we are served with so diet and paid dollars and whatever. That's not the kind of meeting we're talking about. You see? So the
Okay. Thank you. I think I gave you. I was generous. I included 1 minute.
You are quite generous.
All
You
right.
are benevolent.
Yes, you know,
A lot of
I'm just a
benevolence.
simple guy, man. You know. All right. Thank you
Is it
so
possible
much.
to respond to this guy?
No,
Because
you are
every time
talking.
he talks, he always refers to me. No, hold on. Let me do this because I find the way he talks quite malignant. Actually, given one of the people, when he talks, I for the life of me, he calls them colonial masters, and go and tell a white man that they own our country. The way you talk, I don't know whether you are self-aware. You seriously need to do a lot of soul searching. Use your tongue to count the number of teeth in your mouth, because you seem to be very well educated, and that's what makes you quite dangerous. You sound like you are reasonable, but you lack total self-awareness to meet the challenges of today. You call them colonial masters. A young man.
Are you sure of that? I think he was just being
sarcastic. He called them colonial masters.
No. Listen. And you have said that many times.
And then told a white man that they own your country.
No.
Jesus Christ. Are you a man or what?
Let's not go there. Let's not go there, because we're going to divert our
Do you know that white man will be embarrassed by you when you say that to him?
Why? Are they not colonial masters?
Because he's going to look at you and think, oh my God, he's still a boy. He's not grown up yet.
Okay,
that's what it is.
Forefather,
let's grown up.
Hold on. Let's go there with you. Why would a man look at him and say that to him, that because he says he's colonial master?
Because it's one thing to know that some other person controls you and you are trying to walk your way out of it. It's another thing to go and tell them they own you.
Okay, let's go down that, because I didn't want to go there with you, but let's go there now. Is Nigeria trying to walk away from its colonial masters?
He should be trying to.
No. Come on, let's deal with it now, because
it's not about Nigeria.
As an entity, doesn't have any direction.
He is Nigeria. He is the kind of leaders we have that simply refuse to grow out of their mindset. He's calling them masters and telling them that they own the country. He's like the Nigerian leaders. He likes to think that he's not one of them. He sounds very much like them.
No, but,
that's the problem.
But he
needs to start himself. Seriously.
This is a kind of misplaced, So the young man
does sound like Tinubu to me. Sound like Buhari.
No. You can see that he's critiquing, the situation. So he's challenging the current, the hegemony. Okay, the setup. So he understands it, but he's challenging it. That's why he comes here to argue, and then so it's not. It's not. You can't say that he's not doing his best.
Why does he use the language of our leaders?
By facing reality, by so what more can he do?
He's just saying that he sounds like them.
By the way,
he doesn't like them, but he sounds very much like them.
No. It's not. It doesn't sound anything. So he is also knowledgeable. Acquires knowledge and he pays attention. So what more can you ask of an individual?
See, I think that I stay humble, being due respect to him and everyone on this panel. I think he's very knowledgeable, and when he used those words, I know exactly what it means, because how can it be? Listen, it's only when I got to the US I found out that some of them don't even know how many states Africa have. They don't know how many countries in Africa. So when they say, are you from Africa? They are referring that you are from, Africa is one small place. And then when they say, Africa has 54 states now, 56 states, they say, like, what? What do you mean? Okay, 54 countries? How? So these people, much as we think, or much as we used to believe that they know, don't know nothing. So when you use such a term, they themselves know that you are mocking them. Okay? I think we can't argue any longer that knowledge started from Africa, and Africa is the cradle of society. That means that every other thing started in Africa, no matter where anybody decides to put themselves now. But that's a discussion for another day. Let's not go. We're dealing with the Nigerian issue today, and the issues raised by Dr. Max. Okay. Now, Dr. Max also says something very interesting. Okay. He says something interesting that we may also need to interrogate. And I'm coming to you, Forefather. He said, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Sorry.
All right. That was no day easier. People don't make me. I'm a gentleman, I'm a very humble guy. Don't make me difficult. I've forgotten let me look at my script now. All right. Dr. Max raised a lot of issues, and one of the issues that we want to interrogate is the reason that he says Come on, I've lost my train of thought. All right. Fofana, you want to say something in the ongoing discussion why I put myself together?
Okay, yeah, regarding the law and order, I think it's about numbers. I'm going by numbers, whether many cases have been judged based on the rule of law. If you are going by the numbers alone, you're going to say yes, because out of thousands of judgment that goes on every single day in Nigeria, most of them are following the rule of law. Yes, you can argue that maybe our rate at the top of our society, the rule of law doesn't exist. Personally, I actually believe that most nations, the people at the top, they get away with murder, including this in the Boris Johnson you mentioned. Boris Johnson broke the law several times before he got to resign. He broke the law. Same thing with Trump. Trump is breaking the law every day, and he will get away with it. He's a convict, for crying out loud, and he will get away with all of them. But we pretend as if every society is perfect, so it has to be run perfectly. The point is that our own elites, they are not running our country. They are not building anything. That's a problem. And if they were building something, the rate, what we are seeing right now will not be as bad. It will be a self-healing system. The system you are going to see is that you're going to see more execution of the law, because you're going to see things that are going to be better. But when you see a society that seems to be, there's no order, street light doesn't stay on, you get a traffic light one day, tomorrow there's no traffic light, there's chaos everywhere, it's going to look like it's lawless. But it doesn't mean that if you go to courts, they are not seeing people being convicted. Our prisons are made up of people. Where do you think those people came from? Somebody's passing judgment.
They come from the poor. They are the poor.
And most of the nation is poor. And let's not forget, governors have gone to prison in this country. I know of the governors, at least more than 2 to 3 governors have gone to prison in this country.
I went to visit them in the prison when they went to.
Exactly.
It's a VIP prison in Kuje.
That's how it is here too now. What do you expect? It's like that here too. You think they are suffering there? Jeffrey Epstein, where was he? You think Jeffrey Epstein was suffering? From what I got, it looks like they were taking girls to him even there. So this is something that happens I'm telling you, this is the world you need. See, I've said it before. Let me just say this to you before I end. I think I've been saying it. People are not listening. Elites in every country get away with murder. All of them. Just go and look at it. No matter how they tell you, even China, that they say they have death penalty, they get away with murder all the time. Let's make no mistake about it. The question is whether your elites are producing for you. Are they productive? That's the question. If I'm lying, check it out for yourself. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And I think let's interrogate that a little bit, because sometimes when forefathers say these things, it sounds as if they are true, but they are totally far from the truth. Let me say this.
KJ.
Hold on. I'm coming to you, and the next person to speak. So let me learn. Now, no matter what you say of the European leaders, whether they're Americans or Western Europe or wherever, none of them have bank account in Nigeria, sending their own private money to come and save it in your country. None, not one person.
They have been.
And when they want to do business in your country, they get your government to underwrite it. In other words, if tomorrow people decide to say, I don't want to do the business, you cannot eat my money, your government will pay me back. Okay? So now, but how many of our own so-called leaders even own banks, own estates, houses? If you come to Maryland, you have a place of the wealthy. You find that more than 10 governors have houses there. Okay, I'm not going to call the name.
Trump is a convict.
No, it doesn't. Well, your own president is worse than a convict. He's worse. So let's not even go there. See, that's why I don't discuss government. Let me tell you, that's why I don't discuss government. But let's move ahead, because there's nothing to compare. It's like night and day.
So soon you find out that he might be allegedly a sex molester of underage girls. Where is he going to end?
Until that, and we will not go into speculations here, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Good. So we will not go into speculations here. We'll just discuss what concerns our own nation, because a man with log in his eyes cannot be looking to move the small peg that's in your own eyes. So we have the log. We should remove our own first before going to remove from other people. What says thou? Okpebolo 2028.
Nigeria, we are the Nigerians that we talk about, good or bad. I think we seem to forget. I think Nigeria now we be Nigeria. Whether you regardless of where you are the Nigerian. So if Nigeria is not working, if Nigeria is working, the credit also goes to you. If it's not working, there's no way you can passion the problem without putting yourself in it. So the idea, those way they thought say there are no rule of law, there are no rule of law. Now, because they also fail for their own duty as a citizen. Because anytime we say rule of law, they look at Abuja, would they blame Abuja, would they blame the president? We don't forget that just like Nigeria will argue with me that, oh, we already have rule of law. Yes, on paper, because you say yes, federal, state, and local government. Yeah, if you bring it to them, whatever that's happening at the federal government is also happening at the local government. Those are our direct families. Our cousins, our ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, whatever. Those are the people running the local government. Are they actually carrying the rule of law or not? Because rule of law, now woman be go carry them out. So if there's no rule of law, that means you are not doing your duty, because now you go actually do them. No be say they paper. You as a Nigerian have to carry that to say there's no law. So if I say there's no rule of law, it's on you. It's not going upon you to say, okay, it's actually shame on you to tell the whole world that, yeah, I don't know, I don't recognize rule of law. I don't have rule of law. Because that's how it sounds, right? Every state, people know they won't agree. Just because they don't know, what they know, anything what they never be familiar with is conspiracy. There's no way you can run away from your beginning. The constitution where America get, now people come together and say, this is how I have to be, and they convince the rest of the citizens to adopt it. Going to that constitutional convention, the Federalists, the likes of John J. Thomas and the rest of them, they are Federalists. In fact, if Amity was actually recommended a life president for America, because of that, some of the delegates that went to him from New York left. Even after they ratified the constitution, accepted it, Rhode Island refused to join because it's a small state. They say no, it is not going to favor them. So it is a battle between the state and the federal. But at the end of the day, the dual sovereignty has to come to play. The federal government cannot encroach in any state anyhow. Because the argument the people argue for state sovereignty make is that as a human being, your allegiance is to your immediate family first, to your environment, your locality, your local government, your state before federal. So everything about you is in your immediate environment. So your liberty should be protected by your immediate government. So it is a win-win for both. So that's why it is the real check of balance. The check of balance is not the three arms of government. It is the state and the federal. 2 years ago, Texas won't go war with the federal troop over border. That is the border of the United States. But now Texas there. Who is going to run it? Now that is contention. You as a citizen, you will be happy that you have these two people going fighting. At the end of the day, you will be the beneficiary. That's where we are headed, but we are not there yet. It is on paper. So when Nigeria they argue that instead we get sovereignty, yes. But as a businessman as I did now, if I find oil for my village, now Abuja I will go settle the matter. It's not supposed to be like that.
You say, BBN's lawyer, drop this message on the Facebook page. He talks say.
Give me 1 minute. All right, go ahead.
So the idea is a rule of law. Is you look at yourself. Looking at yourself, look at your environment, where they come from. Focus on your village first. Is that thing that you want happening? If it's not happening, it is you. Blame yourself. Because the Nigeria that we have today, it is due to our action and inaction. And it doesn't matter going for space. That's still who you are. The reason why the world is not respecting you as a person, it is because you are a Nigerian. Not because you are dumb and stupid.
Thank you. I agree with you, and I agree with you to a large extent. It is, and that's what Dr. Marx, actually concluded in one of it. That
sorry, Dr. Marx. Sorry, KJ. Dr. Marx say if states get their own power to exploit themselves, some states will be too rich. So goddamn what? California, if you want rank a California economy, it will rank among 4 or 5 in the world. After America, China, Japan, Germany, not California.
Yeah.
New York and Texas get economy that is bigger than 100 countries in the world. So what if Bayelsa is over a rich past a Kano or any other place? So what? Manage what you got. This is about the liberty of your people.
Okay. Thank you for your contribution, and indeed every one of you. Welcome, Masker. I'll soon come to you. But let me just put it again that one of the things he said today was that, okay, today is not my best day. I've lost my train of thought. But let's go to this video. We'll talk rule of law a bit.
My people, una know say BDM's lawyer drop this message on his Facebook page. He talk say, I always call BDM, make you know they take unnecessary risk. Say you know they hear. Because of this, BDM calls, why my lawyer go drop this type of message? Some people for comment just say, why should they make it public? So people talk say, this is not professional. Why should you say this about your client in the public space? For this class, I won't make her analyze the reason why he made this type of statement public. I no dey here to judge. I just dey here make her analyze what I see for this thing. Okay? Wetin he talk? He talk say, I call BDM every time to be careful and stop taking unnecessary risk, but it doesn't listen most of the time. If anything happens to you today, everyone has moved on by tomorrow. We only overrate ourselves. Nigerians don't rate anybody.
Okay, I just need to throw that in because sometimes we discuss, while we discuss, there are people in the field actively taking part in everyday life and what they meet in the streets of Nigeria. And that is a very stubborn, I say stubborn in the every good sense of it, lawyer advising his client that, look, these people have a very way of dealing with you. They are about, and that's exactly what they applied to Natasha Akpoti. They knew that they were going to go on recess. So everything is done to make sure that they push you to that point where when they go, you are helpless. If you have been locked up, and I'll give you another example what they used to do those days. They come and arrest you, or the people who had happened to me, because it never happened to me anyway. They go and arrest them on Saturday, on Friday evenings, on Friday afternoons. Before you do anything, it is evening, and the DPO handling the case will have gone. And they tell you, DPO don't go, nobody can free you now. So you know what? Make una go. This guy will keep on here. Monday, make una come begin case. Okay? So by Monday, that you have suffered that consequence of sleeping 3 days in a cell. I'm talking about those who think that the rule of law is there. Rule of law is only when you don't have anybody. I mean, when you don't have anybody, or when you have somebody who can intervene on behalf, then rule of law may apply to a large extent. But why is this guy telling the BDM this? Not in hatred, as people have looked at it. He's advising him openly that, you see, nobody say this in a book. Once A happen, B have to follow, and C and D. No, it doesn't go that way. He said to him, you be careful, because once you think you have a lawyer who can intervene, I may not be able to do anything because the system is skewed to make sure that you will not get that required justice and on time. Anyway, Oti, you heard what?
Yeah.
Okay.
KJ, can I have 1 or 2 minutes to rebut what my brother just said, Obi?
If you wait for your time now, we'll get your time, please.
No, I will forget. I just want to correct one thing. A lot of people will run away with, these, manipulations. You don't have to spin it because you want to suit your narrative. He made an allusion to the fact that checks and balances is between a federal and state. No, checks and balances is between the arms of government, the legislature, the executive.
Balance of power. You know the
checks and balances. You said checks and balances. We're talking about federal and
themselves. Hold on, make you learn something. You have the three hands checking themselves. Then you have the balance of power between state and federal. You don't know book. Two things, two different things.
You don't know nothing. You can't have read every book. It's not imparting on you. It doesn't show you.
Let me educate you. Let me educate
you. You have read every book, and it's not imparting your thinking. It doesn't invite on you. It's like everyone's vigilante.
Remove this to.
Let me do something.
I says, hold on.
KJ, sorry, KJ, I beg. Now, just one thing I want to talk. Sorry, no verse. In America, there are two ways. The three arms, they check themselves, while the balance of power is between state and federal. The two existed. That was meeting in Nigeria.
What I'm correcting is, you said checks and balances does not exist between state and federal. It only exists among the arms of government. There are two different things. That is why your president was able to remove a city and elected governor, because he thinks he has the power to do so.
For America,
because of your vested interest.
you listen to learn not to argue.
Hold on, guys.
There are two different things in conversation
You
here.
people come here with this your narrative.
Hold on.
Talking of two different things. The three arms check themselves. Why the state and federal check themselves? You don't know, Donny.
I saw that you made a mistake. You said checks and balances between the federal and state. That was what you said.
Yes,
that was what you said.
Okay, it's okay now. What is this now? Two of you can. It's like cancer. Why are you fighting like this?
I'm happy you are nothing to the word and you.
Okay,
take it easy, man.
Listen. I said something here earlier on that they used to accuse us of not being able to have civil conversation without shouting at each other, and I don't think it's something that we should. I learned that long time ago that I will not even allow anybody to push me to that point. It will be difficult. Don't allow people to push you to the point where we'll all be yelling at each other. If we have foreign guests now, they will look at us if we are mad. I know it's a way of our speaking in our country, but we're not only, talking to our country now, we're talking to the world. Since the Nigerian Ghana flew, a lot of people come to Nigerian channel to look for what they will see, what they will use to go and, buttress their other wrong views or right views, as the case may be. This is what they're going to come and take. That too. You see, they even have this thing. That's why we say they should leave our country, because they're always shouting. Look at, they're even fighting. They can't even agree among themselves. Gentlemen, it's not good now. I'm not saying we should pander to anybody like him, but we should be able to maintain decorum to a large extent. Please.
Thank you, KJ. But let me correct that impression. There are two different things at play. In America, the three arms check themselves. Why the state and federal government also check themselves? That is the level we need to get to. It's two different things. I don't know what they argue.
Okay, so now
state and federal government have two different laws.
You have now explained yourself. That part, you don't know what they argue. It's not necessary. You have explained your point. It is okay. We don't need to push beyond that point. You have made your point clear. The three governments check themselves, and then the state and the federal government are the balance of power. Simple. He will see it, and if he has something to say, we mustn't show that we are, no, now let's not stop having these people. Every one of you here is a very highly respected member of this group. We can't.
He accused me of spreading false information. Now, accusation didn't start. He was not asking question. He was accusing me. It's two different things. Ask your question. Don't accuse me if you don't understand. When you accuse me, then you've lost the case. Because I will give you back. Ask what you don't understand. That's the most powerful word in English. Ask. It's allowed. Don't accuse me.
If you do, you won't be saying things you say here.
Let's move on real quick. Masker, you're welcome. Let's you're welcome. Let me jump to Masker so that these guys can cool down. Masker, you're welcome. You've been listening to us, I'm sure, and there must be something you came into, to really contribute. So let us hear your take.
No, I'll go after Dexter. I want to hear what Dexter has to say.
Okay, Dexter, you have been given the platform. Can you now say what you want to say?
Dr. KJ, you want to jump us away?
Don't jump them, please, KJ. Let them have their say, please.
Okay, I'm not jumping anybody. I just want to.
I know Masker was here before me, though. So.
Then pass come down. All right, Oti, you want to say something because it's supposed to be that way.
What is the question? Because I think I was distracted.
The question that I was asking earlier was that Dr. Marx said that because America is 250 years old and it took them a long time before they were able to put their ass together, that Nigeria is just 60-something years old, and so we should not be in a hurry because we have to wait till maybe, and that's my own assumption now, that maybe we should wait till when we're 100 years old before we can now make any meaningful project. Meaningful progress. What is your own view? Is that really applicable in today's world?
No, the doctor doesn't know what he's talking about. So, we in the modern age with the knowledge base, the modernity, technological, everything. We have to wait for centuries before we can. That's nonsense. I mean, what kind of why is it so difficult to kind of design a workable framework, constitution? to dispense justice and equity, fairness. So what is so difficult about that? Because that's what is at the root of our problems. And it's talking about waiting for and even to develop infrastructure, simple electricity, good roads, these things, and with the wealth, the country, the wealth of natural resources. So what is he talking about? So I'm of the view, and I share the view that the country is not working for obvious reasons, and if we don't fix those, those reasons, those problems we have, they're identifiable problems. They are not. We're not required to reinvent the wheel. Okay, so a pluralistic society country can only be governed by a constitution that allows the various groups, uh, culturally and nationalist groups, autonomy. Okay, that is, people have to have a sense of. Have to have a sense that they're control of the destiny. You can't just impose this unity on people and then have some dictator somewhere dishing out privileges and all that. It can't work. We're not getting anywhere. So this is the problem we have. It's not about time waiting for decades. So how about other countries that we started off with? Okay, KJ, you have here pointed to such examples of India, Pakistan, Indonesia. So we have to do the right thing. If the setup, the framework is not working, we have to change it. Have the courage and the sincerity to do the right thing. So there's nothing. It's not a fact of nature. It's not a given that the geographical space we call Nigeria has to remain the way it was set up by those that came here in the first place for their business interest, because that's what it is. We have to recognize that fact. But we're human beings. We're intelligent. We should know what is good for us. If we have a bit of just a modicum of honesty and sincerity, we will address our problems, right? So it's not the law of God, not a divine law that we have to live together in one country under this arrangement. Okay, we can change it the way that it suits us, and we can keep on experimenting, and then it just kind of not moving forward. We're not going in any direction. So people know about this thing. It's not as if people don't understand the problem. Okay,
Okay.
as we speak, people are talking about these problems, and then they have practical, reasonable solutions to the problems. So we just have to do the right thing. That's So the doctor talking about waiting for years. No, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, I don't agree with him.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ike. Yes, time.
I will come from the perspective of what Ovia said. Ovia, I think each and every one of us here recognize that we are part of the problem and we are part of the solution. When we talk about Nigerians, we ourselves included, right? That's why that the family it starts from the family, it goes to the kindred, it goes to the village, it goes to the town, it goes to the local government, it goes to the state. That's the way it's supposed to be. But that also doesn't change the fact that for whatever we are saying here, some of us are doing what is right, whether we are in Nigeria or we are not in Nigeria. Most of the time, when you do right thing in Nigeria, they call you the foolish man. A lot of people that are doing the right thing in Nigeria are regarded as people who don't know anything. They see them as weakling. People who do the right thing in Nigeria, they regard them as people who are very weak. And that's the problem. It's because the system is corrupt and rotten to the point that if you want to live an honest life and you want to do the right thing, everybody will see you as a weakling. That's the country you have. And it's a very big problem. Even in your own family, when you preach love and peace in your family, a lot of people will still call you that you're weak. Because everything, the system is so corrupt to the point that every Nigerian man means that we have to take, you have to take bribe. Can you imagine? You are here, you send money to your brother to go and do something for you. He will be asking you money for transport. Even though they give him money for transport, he will tell you if the place he is supposed to go is about 1,000 naira, he will tell you transport is 5,000 naira. Because he believed that he's smart. He believed that you are plucking the money from the tree where you are. So even if you demand anything that for him to be able to do something for you, you have to give it to him or her. So it's a problem, my dear. We have to recognize that. So I want to recognize that the problem in Nigeria today, that a lot of people who want to do the right thing are not respected in Nigeria, not even by the people that are close to them. Even the country itself do not respect them. Unless you are an Aburotao, unless you are somebody who practices Aburoism in Nigeria, that's the only way you are respected. Unless every time you shout like you drink whiskey, that's the only way you are called a man in Nigeria. So it's a very great problem. We are not running away from it. We are the Nigerians. We are part of the problem, and which also should be part of the solution. But also, for us to be part of the solution, when we talk about the people in leadership, it doesn't necessarily mean, for me, for example, that I am not doing my best in my town, in my village, in my kindred. Because like Ovia, you said, that's where it's going to start from. And that's what I am doing. But when we talk about, at the end of the day, when we want to federalize it, I have to talk about the federal, I have to talk about the state. But my main goal is mostly in my village, is mostly in my kindred, is mostly in my town. Because if everything is working well in my village, in my family, in my kindred, I think it's going to work well every other place. And if all the towns around my local government, everything is working effectively and well, it's a better society we are trying to build. So we cannot run away from mentioning the federal or the state, but it doesn't change the fact that my work and my responsibility starts from my family, to my kindred, to my village, to my town, to my local government, and to my state. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm coming.
Sorry, can I just share something regarding this one data that I'm just checking right now while we are talking about this? I was checking the list of people that have been convicted in both countries, the US and Nigeria. You'll be surprised how symmetric they are. And actually, Nigeria has more convicts in assembly, in Senate, and executive, more than America does. So we say there's no rule of law, but it's okay.
But forefathers, are you saying that the corruption level in America is the same with that?
That's what. Thank you.
No, I'm not saying it's the same. I'm not necessarily saying
Half
it's the
of
same
America
level.
is more.
you
I'm saying that the corruption in America is quite high too.
Hold on, let Further answer.
I'm not the corruption type that they have is different. But when you say when you are talking about corruption in reality, yes, there's a lot of corruption in America too. But they just sanitize it and make it look like it's not. It's there. We can see it clearly from afar. The fact that you have a convicted president, you see how Trump got $2 billion from just leaving the office the last time. $2 billion he got. If that was Nigeria, we would lose our mind. And yet he came back again and got into office again. So when we are comparing it, actually more people are serving more prison time in Nigeria than in America. Some of them, they commit their convictions.
So we shouldn't worry about corruption?
No, I'm saying you should worry about it. Let me put this question about rule of law.
Let me put this thing correct. I don't know why you heard that Trump got $2 billion. I don't know, because he didn't even collect salary while he was there. But that's a debate for another day. You see, some of these things that they report online are not correct. But it's
he got it from sovereign from Saudi Arabia. I can show you Jerry Kushner, through Jerry Kushner.
Believe me, if there was anything like that, Jerry Kushner would be in prison. So let's leave it. Look, here, there's no respect for any human being. That's the problem with it. You don't even have anyone to go and report to say, look, this is happening to me. So let me run to OVA. Let OVA come and intervene on my behalf. Nobody like that. None. I can tell you authoritatively. I just have a friend who went to court, like last week, okay, for things that shouldn't have happened. It is the judge that saved him, okay. So look, it's a totally different ballgame. Let's not go there. But let me come to you. Stay humble. You've heard what has been said so far.
Okay.
Yes. What do
Yeah,
you say?
so for me, one of the reasons why I strive to appear here and some other platforms is just because uh, there are potentially thousands of people listening to us. You
No,
understand? Then,
nobody listens to us. There's somebody in the platform who said that nobody listens to us.
yeah, even before I started joining, yeah, I was I was on I was sorry, let me okay. Yeah, so we have potentially thousands of people listening to us. Yeah, so my duty is not to join issues with some people because yeah, I know that there are some people that are really reprobate in their sentiments. You can't convince them. You understand? So my job is not to argue or debate with them. No, my job is to educate the legion of listeners. That's it. Okay. So regarding the issues that we are discussing, the guest mentioned that that we are still babies, yeah, that we are still a baby country. Yeah, I think that is false, really, because prior to independence and during the First Republic, the Eastern and Western Nigeria, we are the same level with countries like South Korea. Yeah, today, where is South Korea? Yeah, so even the person that said that we don't have colonial masters, our forefathers served the colonial masters. Our parents served the colonial masters. We are still serving the colonial masters in their country. We have thousands. We are the only country among the countries that we started together with where we have our best talents outside Nigeria. Legions, thousands, millions. You have thousands of Nigerian doctors outside Nigeria, thousands of nurses outside Nigeria, and you are here saying that we don't have colonial masters. That's totally ridiculous. That's preposterous. We are still in bondage, whether you like it or not. We are still not free. You have thousands of our best doctors and nurses serving the colonial masters in Europe and in North America. So back to the other issues. I was watching the WAFCON final yesterday between Morocco and Nigeria, and I was just asking myself, ruminating, that we can't even host a single tournament. The last time Nigeria hosted an international tournament was in 2009. We don't even have infrastructure. All the infrastructures are decayed. We don't even have single like standard stadiums to even host under 17 tournaments. We can't do that. The first time that the WAFCON was played was in 1998. It was hosted in Abeokuta. Where was Morocco then? Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia were not even in the female football map. They were not on the female football map at all then. We can't even host that tournament today because we don't even have infrastructure. So we have to start asking ourselves critical questions. We have to start pondering on these things. Oh, that that we must be Nigeria before we can make progress. That is not true. We've had countries, that were balkanized. So I think Rhodesia was together, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Malawi. We are together as Rhodesia. You understand? So the old Yugoslavia as well was balkanized into like 6 countries or so, and they're all doing well. So you can still thrive without being part of the heterogeneous, chaotic Nigeria that is not working and will never work, whether you like to hear it or not. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I want to say this to those in the comment section. Listen, when I come here, I'm not coming here to discuss American politics or the other. I try as much as possible to remove myself from that, because the people who lead in my country are worse than the people you want me to discuss about. And I cannot, in all honesty, come and begin to discuss anybody's president when I have what I have in my country, that I've now made every strata of Nigerian society to look, so, I don't know, criminal. Okay? So, please, let me, just give me a while. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in what will move Nigeria forward. And if it's not moving forward, let us divide it. That's where I am. If you have any other thing outside of that, I'm not interested. That's the truth. I've said that many times. I've said it in close quarters, and I'm saying that right again. Okay? We cannot be fighting a war outside where we have the enemy sitting in our backyard, ready to take off us. Then you want me to go and be fighting and worrying about somebody who have stolen from me, milk from me, done all kinds of things, raped me, and all that. And I'll go and still be talking about wasting my energy. Listen, maybe at another forum you may want to do that. Here we try to see how we can move the nation forward, and that's what we're discussing today. Is it possible for us to move forward? And if possible for us to move forward, what are those indices that we need to see, that we need to put in place to move Nigeria forward? If it's not forward, if not going forward, just like our guest today suggests, is there any other way we can move forward? Would that moving forward mean dividing us into small fragments, or small what do you call it now? Confederations that will make Nigeria move forward? We are interested of what is going to happen in Nigeria in the next 100 years. Okay, let's even reduce it. In the next 50 years, where will we be? Will we still be in Nigeria? Will we still be fighting what is fighting us now? Will our children rise up to begin to fight what we are fighting now? Since we're already fighting the ones our parents fought and have left it for us now. And we are fighting, and you see, we're even losing it. We're even losing the fight. So if that doesn't bother you, and if it's the orange man that bothers you, I'm not in that league. I'm sorry. That's my position. Okay? And I haven't said that. I want us to move this conversation forward. He said that the only way forward for Nigeria is to wait and not be in a hurry to develop. I do not agree with that, and I'm going to come to Masker with that. Okay, is that possible that we should also wait another 50 years before Nigeria can make progress? Remember, one of the topic he spoke about is the fact that we are not able to move the free education at primary school level, okay, and secondary school level. We didn't plan for the children that will come out of it and how they will be absorbed into the universities, and when they come out of these universities, how they will be able to get work. And somebody in the comment section, who I've forgotten the name, said, China, I'm talking to Masker, China got to where they got today by copy and paste. But this same copy and paste, when we were growing up those days, used to be in Nigeria. They used to call it Abamade. We were copying and pasting, and then that didn't take us where we wanted to go to. Can we go back to that point? Is it possible to build from there so that we can now also progress like China have progressed, like South Korea have progressed, like India, like Pakistan, like Malaysia? Is it possible for us to do that and achieve that desire for every black man, that Nigeria will get it correct? Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, KJ, and good evening, everybody. Like I always say, I'm an African, so we are very respectful people. So I also single out Forefather as a moderator and say a special good evening also. In fact, the point he made, actually, it's the point in my mind that I think is the problem, that mentality. The guy needs to go back and understand this. There are three laws of, I think, this Newton's law of motion. The first one is law of inertia. The second one is law of acceleration. And the other one is, I think, law of opposing forces. Okay. In my opinion, Nigeria currently is at inertia. And you don't have to go too far. Okay, let's say from independence. What have been the positive steps that Nigeria has taken in the last, this is from 1960 to, this is like 65 years ago. What have we used these 65 years for? If the theory is that it's a journey. So let's say Nigeria is supposed to move from Lagos to Kano. Where are we now in that journey? Are we moving anywhere? Are we even? I don't think that mentality, people need to move away from it. And I think it's the problem. The Gino brother to that mentality also is that, oh, when Nigerians suffer enough, they will do the right thing. There's this feeling among Nigerians, especially the people in diaspora and the elites. They are thinking that, okay, one day we'll just wake up. Maybe it's 1st of October, or maybe June 12th. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll just wake up and then Nigerians will just all together magically decide, oh no, we've had enough. Things will change. I really am at this point very far away from that position. I actually believe it's the problem with the country, because according to that Newton's law of motion, when an object is at inertia, there has to be a force that will be applied to it for it to move. If we all sit down and we're thinking that something will happen from somewhere, Nigeria will remain where it is. In my opinion, Nigeria has been at inertia right from independence. And it's still where it is. Nigeria is moving, and no, it's not moving anywhere. If anything, this is a lorry or a truck that is, you know, when a lorry is on a hill and is reversing downward. If you know really lorries, you know that even the brake, if you apply brake to that lorry, it will not work. So I think people like that, I don't blame them. You know, when also you are too engrossed in some things, you have to step back to see the bigger picture, that this country is not moving forward. You know, in my opinion, I think people like me and you and everybody on this platform are the people that need to take responsibility to understand that first, this country is not moving anywhere. It's not moving. The country is at inertia.
And what is to be done? What is to be done? What is to be done?
That's where I'm going to. That's where I'm going to. But you have to understand, to do anything, you have to understand what you're dealing with. You have to understand at a conceptual level, what is it that you're dealing with? And this is what I'm saying, that conceptually, we're dealing with an object at an inertia. Conceptually, you have to understand that if we don't do anything, it won't move. The second law of motion, that law of acceleration, also say the bigger the object, the more the force you require to move it. And the third law also said that, look, it's law of opposite. You see, look, as you are going to push that object, let no Nigerian be deceived that if any positive-minded Nigerian that wants to push Nigeria forward in the positive direction, there will be opposing forces also.
For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Master, let me help you with the third law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah, so that's the law of opposing forces. Yes, thank you very much. I think it's Dexter, right? Yeah. Thank you. So, but the essence of that law is that for me, when you break it down, for us to understand that as you push the country forward, there will be forces that will push you back. In Nigeria, people say that when you fight corruption, what do they say?
Corruption fights you back.
Fight you back. But guess what? The problem with Nigeria is not only corruption. Corruption is there. Geopolitics is there. Inferiority complex is there. When KJ was talking about Abamid, when I was younger, I used to make shoes with my own hands. In fact, if you come inside Kano, right outside our house is a local tannery. We used to make shoes. that time, far back then, people were happy with it. I mean, even when I went to university, people were asking me to make shoes for them, and they wear it proudly. But there's that inferiority complex. Anything that is for a black man doesn't like it. But the good news is that I think we are moving away from that. That inferiority complex gradually is beginning to die away, especially in things like movies, music, even our dressing. I mean, if you look at me now, you won't catch me wearing what forefathers or KJ is wearing. Like you won't catch me.
And SUVs for
Well,
your politicians.
that is not inferiority complex. If you give me a Nigerian motor, I will ride it. Actually, I remembered when I first bought a Kia motor, everybody was laughing at me. For me, it's a vehicle is about functionality. Okay, but let's not see what you are prone to digress people from the main point. The main point I'm making is that let's understand the conceptual problem we're dealing with first. We're dealing with something at inertia, and these three laws, you need to have them at the back of your mind. So all of us will have to gather, because it's a major force that we need. 10,000, 20,000 people, if they gather, I am convinced, people like Oti, people like forefathers, KJ, if we all agree that, look, there's nothing we need to do but to move this country forward, it will move. Trust me. And I've said it, every society is divided into three. Those are the top, the ones that we keep crying about, the leaders today. They are already at the top of the pyramid. Why do you think they will change anything? For what reason? What brain will they kind of have that they are already at the top, they are enjoying it, and you want them to change things? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, sorry, KJ, just 1 minute, so I will round up to answer OT.
Can I ask him a question before he runs off? What is that change we require? Okay, let's not.
So
who
there
is
are
going
three
to make that
steps.
change
There are
is
three
different.
steps.
But
Listen,
what
OT,
change?
there are three
What is
steps
that
quickly.
change?
So just 3 steps, in my opinion, and this is just finger in the air kind of thinking. Okay, but I think that is the starting point. People need to be talking. You asking me that question is a starting point. So when I say it, somebody will say, no, that is not. But I would expect that person to come with a better option. In my opinion, there are 3 steps. The first step is what we are doing now. Well-meaning Nigerians to have time and discuss with each other and agree that, okay, this is the problem, and begin to discuss what is the solution. But I think that the most important factor is for these middle level people to have to come from across the board, somebody from the north, somebody from the south, from all over across, so that, today now, if KJ goes to Kano and start talking, the normal average Kano man will look at him with suspicion. But if I go and sit down, people would listen to me. The same way, if I go to Enugu now, nobody is going to listen to me. It has to take KJ or somebody like Oti to go there and begin to convince his people that this is what is the correct thing. Thank you for the time.
Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, KJ. Sorry. Masker, what if this your theory of inertia is wrong? Okay. Now, as opposed to inertia, how about Nigeria actually being in motion, but in the wrong direction? And by the way, you didn't tell us what that change that must be brought about. Never mind who is gonna bring it, but what is that change? Okay.
So I think I can take the first part, so you don't have to. We can move forward. The power of inertia, what you have said earlier, is that we have not really moved forward. That's, if you look at that, the truth. Go pick up the first coup. That was the reason they gave. No medicine in the hospitals, no good road, no electricity, no pipe-borne water.
I will also help KJ. Oti, go and listen to Sonny Okosun 40 years ago.
Yes.
40 years ago, Sonny Okosun sang a song. What is the title, KJ? Which way
Nigeria?
So what is that? What is that change? You must be able to identify that change, right?
People are not going anywhere now.
No. See, look, the thing is this: he has spoken, but there's no not even the disease, okay, or even it has not kind of.
Okay, I beg you are going to waste people's time. Look, in a hospital, somebody can tell you that this is the problem and refer you to who can solve your problem. It doesn't make that doctor that can diagnose you a lesser doctor just because he can't treat you. Please, let's move forward.
All right.
Let's not be at
I
inertia.
think that does it. Thank you so much. Yeah, Ike, before we continue, let's go to Desta. Desta, are you not ready, or should we go to Ike?
Yeah. I'm ready. I don't think there's too much to say on this. I don't agree with the points made by the guest. However, marginalized in Nigeria, from what I've seen, I think who said it? Sam Adeyemi said it on a right. Nigeria is working for some people, and that group of people that it is working for don't want it to change. That's it. And like I think I was saying yesterday on Forefather Show, the biggest hypocrites are the professionals. I would say the professionals from the after Nigeria attained independence. The professionals that came out, the first professionals that came out, are the biggest betrayers of the country called Nigeria, because those were the people who were supposed to stand up against injustice, but if they could get in on it, it's just like what happens in Rivers State today. Instead of the people to stand up against the sole administrator, you had kings, you had captains of industries.
Just a minute, just one moment, please. 1 moment. KJ, sorry. I grab your indulgence. Did you see what this moron is writing on the comment section, calling me a big olodo? Calling me a big olodo. This empty vessel, calling me olodo, and you guys are looking at him. When I call now, you say I'm shouting. Big olodo, okay. Who is Ovie?
Okay. Comrade, we don't read what is going on. You don't understand how many things we would have to be looking at the same time. We are trying to also frame the discussion, and we are looking and listening to what people are saying, so we can also give a reasonable response. Do you think we will have the time to go and read what's going on in this comment section?
Yeah, I want to respond to it, but my network keep kicking me out. Can you just give me an opportunity after that to say I'm on the road? My network is not stable. I have one or two things to say. I will be done. Please.
No problem. We'll give you time. Let him finish. But I will not have you insult anybody. If you do that, I will take you out. So that I'm saying that ahead of time. Same thing goes to Ovie. Please stop insulting. Both of you are very senior members of this panel.
KJ, that's an AI agent. No be me. See, I they read. See.
Okay.
An AI agent with that. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not scared of him. If I want to insult, I go insult him to her face. He no go do me anything. So I'm not scared of him. So that's not me.
Let us take it gently. We're not going to change Nigeria today or tomorrow. We can only say our bit and leave it for the rest who are in public positions. Let's not make enemy out of one another because of this. Thank you. All right, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, yes. So I think that has been the biggest betrayals of the entity called Nigeria, because you had people like that man. Somebody is coming to tell us, oh, maybe the best way for Nigeria is for Nigeria not to develop. Let it be slow. Let us know. I mean, imagine that kind of reasoning. But actually, that is what happened after the counter coup in Nigeria. There was a concerted effort to make sure that everything. That is why our education system has gone to ground down to a halt. Everything has look. Nigeria moved from a country where the Saudi royal family used to come to a university teaching hospital to get treatment to a country whereby nobody comes. Even the citizens of Nigeria are looking for treatment outside. So Nigeria is working for a certain set of people, and that set of people, that class, is a very small class. They don't want it to break out, but it behoves on, like who was saying it, Zimaska, on you and I, all of us who are educated. It behoves on us to educate the people within our circle and to be able to take action. It's not just to stay here sitting down. It's time for people that come here to start buying form, join political parties, because that is the look. Political parties is the roadmap to get into leadership in our country. We have to agree that is the roadmap. And we cannot stay outside and say, oh, this party is bad and be criticizing. No. Because if not, look at the characters in Nigeria today, out of the 36 36 governors. I can assure you don't have up to 10 that actually should be there. We cannot be staying back and allowing the lowest of the lowest in society. People who cannot even read, people who cannot articulate, people who that their decisions are being telegraphed by somebody in the background. People that will take positions of leadership, and we will be here pontificating. People are going to do master's degree. People are going to. I mean, why? That's why I felt very ashamed. You know, I had people who are close to me, people who have gone for a education profession, and they were telling me back in 2014 that the best that could happen to Nigeria was Buhari. And the only simple question I asked, you had a man who was head of state. After he finished, after everything, he could not even say, okay, I am deficient in this area of my life. Let me go and improve. He didn't do that. But that shows you the level. That's what has, you see, it's like a computer. The computer is garbage in, garbage out. Okay, it's what you have put into a system that it will bring out. The level of education that has been put into the Nigerians is very poor. That is why we have people that can't choose good leaders. When you have people that go to secondary school and their parents are actively trying to rig WAEC and rig JAMB for them, you have people that go through universities and all they're thinking about is mercenaries that will write their exam. What do you expect from that kind of society? When you have, that is what you have. Lecturers, people that young lecturers are looking for how to get money. You know, lecturers are looking for how to sort papers, sell scripts. You know, those kind of. When you put that into a society, what you now expect that you will now get people who will be able to choose good leaders? Of course, it won't, because already their mindset has been conditioned. And the moment you condition somebody's mindset, it takes a long time. You have to reprogram it. In fact, you might have to do a factory reset, which is actually what Nigeria needs. Nigeria needs a complete factory reset. And
okay,
is, let me just land on this point. Like, I think people should go and listen to what there was a Sam Adeyemi interview in on channels, and he said something very important. He said that the people that are going to drive a change in Nigeria can no more be the people inside Nigeria. Because the people inside Nigeria, all they have seen, all they have heard is so bad. That it is people who have seen sanity, people who have seen that you can turn on the light at any time of the day and it comes on, and it is not something for you to be happy about. You turn on the tap, the water gushes out. You know, people who have seen that roads is not something that you will be glad that if there's a pothole, you can call your counselor and say, look, there's a pothole in front of my house, and he will be telling you, apologizing, and you'll be coming there to make sure that they fix it. It's only people that come from that kind of society that can come and make an impact. If not, we'll have people that when they do 10 kilometers of road, they want the people to clap for them. Thank you.
I thank you.
Dexter,
Hold on, Oti. Mr. Lucky A, I can see you, but you're wearing a singlet. If you put on a shirt or a t-shirt, I can bring you up. So one of our this thing that we don't wear singlets. Okay. And then we don't drink or eat also on set. But you can drink water, you can drink Coke, but nothing more than that. All right. Yes, Mr. Oti, you have 1 minute, and please. No. Hold on. I already promised our comrade who wants to move to be able to make his comment. Please, no insults. Address the issue. If you put insult across, I will take you out, and that goes to all of us. Please, let's be respectful of one another. Everybody here get family. Nobody here no get picking. I beg. All right.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity. You see, our problem, if you ask everybody to talk about Nigerian problem, 99%, even 100% of us know what the problems are. But when we come sitting down deceiving ourselves, most of us are worse than the people we blame, one or the place. What happened in the last dispensation? Some people come here genuinely to discuss the Nigerian affairs. While some people are looking for a way to just to get in there to get their own cut. Even this social media you see, people don't appear just for talking sake. They're looking for one or two persons in the government to link them up. They're not comfortable where they are. So even this platform you see people creating, you know what they were doing in the last dispensation? People were busy sharing 5,000. So it's a platform when you hear people saying Tinubu was a criminal. Is anybody more criminal than Tinubu? Probably IBB. Today, they are singing praises of Tinubu. Ask yourself, what has changed? We know them. But they try to spin the truth. We try to spin the truth to favor what their stomach. We know them. People don't discuss, they don't create platform for genuine discussion, for meaningful engagement. We know them. They're doing everything humanly possible, either by hook or by crook, to join the criminal gang. So when they come here to speak the truth, we know where they're coming from. We know where their mission. We know what their missions are. So having said that, we're talking about rule of law. Somebody is telling you he has to do with you. He has to do with your local government. Yes, there is need to obey the law. But because it's also a known fact that people will always break the law, even in the most decent crime in the world. That is where the rule of law, application of the rule of law comes in. People will always break the law. It's natural by every human being to break the law. Then when these laws are broken, what do you do to implement them? Because when there are no consequences for bad behavior, they're bound to be repeated. So when somebody is telling you, look at yourself, no, do the crime and do the time. That is the need for governance. All of us cannot park there to go and be in Asoro. That is the need for representative. That is where the sovereignty relies on the people. The people in government, they are like trustees on behalf of the people. The real sovereignty belongs to the people. You can have laws and without the rule of law. Then you have bodies of laws and order written somewhere in a document does not mean you have rule of law in practice. Application of these laws, no matter who else is God, no matter how highly placed it is, that's what we mean by the rule of law. Somebody is coming here to tell you rule of law is applicable in Nigeria. They're telling you, look at yourself. Look at your. Nobody stops you from breaking the law. But the law will hold you accountable, no matter how highly placed you are. That's what we mean by the rule of law. Nobody should come here and want to spin it. Trying to defend everything that is not working in Nigeria, pretending that you're talking to fools. We are not fools. The rest of us knows where you're speaking from. We know what you want. We know where you're going to. We know who you discuss. We know who is sending you on errands to come and destabilize people, to speak the narrative, to suit their narrative, and to change the discussion. To spin the conversation to suit their narrative. So when people talk, some people are not asked for genuine and meaningful engagement. So they are agents, they are moles planted everywhere for their selfish agenda. Don't forget, 2027 is around the corner. They created platform here and there to speak for their paymasters. Thank you. That's all I have to say. So long as we continue to deceive ourselves, we remain where we are. Then when they come here to want to spin the narrative with their conspiracy theories, we know where they belong. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, comrade. For the avoidance of doubt, I want to say that I've been in the news business at least for a while. So I know that majority of what goes out there is written to one direction or the other. There are very few news outlets that don't write to suit whoever owns it. You can't go to Arise News, and I want to call your attention to this. Notice for the last 3 or 4 months, or about 3 months now, Arise News don't take Nnamdi Kanu's news as a breaking news any longer. Okay, that's because maybe it's not in the interest of the person who is the owner. We noticed that, but I don't own a newspaper. I can't tell them what or news station. I can't tell them what to discuss. So I just want us to be open-minded that these things are not written on stone. Some people will dance to what you like, others may not. I, as much as is within my power, try to be, at the center. But sometimes I can be on the left, on the right, because I'm rightist. I'm not a leftist. Okay, I can be far on the right sometimes, depending on what the issues are. Let's give ourselves enough room to accommodate one another. If we do that, even the issues we're having in Nigeria now will not have it. Because if we give people room, if we give them rope, as they call it in our palace, if you give them enough rope, you will have no issue with them, because you always see the happy part of them. And when that happy part is not coming, you give them an understanding, allowance to say, okay, maybe today is his bad day. Today is a forefather's bad day. Maybe he's just having a bad day. I will not go out that way. If we do that, we always be happy with one another. But let's not always be looking for sledgehammer. When I'm going near Masca, you have a sledgehammer behind your back, just coming and waiting for just one the small mistake you make, just move it, bang, I don't catch you. Don't be behaving like Abuja traffic light, yellow fever traffic light men who will go and hide behind the flower and be waiting for you. The moment you just pass the traffic light, they jump outside, bang, you're under arrest. Let's stop that. That will help us move forward. Having said that, I want to give hold on, I'm coming to you, OT. Let me allow Mr. Lucky A to introduce himself and then speak, and then we'll start rounding up because our time is fast.
It rotates through Omoro.
Yeah, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you, forefather.
Okay.
I won't pass you. I'm coming to you. All right, go ahead, sir. Mr. Lucky A. You're welcome. I think this is your first time or thereabouts. Are you in Nigeria because you don't seem to have light? Your network also is freezing somehow. Is it MTN that have been taken over by France, or which one? Which one are you in?
No, my name is Lucky. I'm based in Senegal. I'm in Nigeria.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Oh, Senegal, yeah. Beautiful place. I love it.
Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, that Atlantic fish. I can still remember it. It doesn't go away from my mind.
Yeah, no, this place is cool. There's no problem.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Well done. Yeah, I just want to contribute something. This is something I have in mind for a long time. It's not too long I come online, but I don't know who is who. I have a suggestion in my mind to make. Just everybody, all of us, we are facing the problem, and there's a big problem in Nigeria. But I have one in my mind, like somewhere like Siollun, time of Jonathan. He always said that Jonathan wanted to give him one of the posts. He refused. I don't know how access to Siollun, but he proposed to Jonathan, give me INEC chairman. Let me be INEC chairman. I believe that problem will be solved today. Because we are just talking, everybody is talking, that's I don't know. We are not solving problem. And Siollun, I believe he had that heart. But it's not solving problem. It just everybody every time shouting, creating people to make sure they go for demonstration. All those things not working. If you have opportunity to take any post like INEC, we know that one problem is solved. Because I don't believe we can be. It's a proposal to Jonathan for okay. If you want to give any post, this is what I want. If not like that, I'm not going. Maybe if we take that post, I believe this problem all of us will not be this mess today. Because I don't believe anybody is enjoying this system. That is my suggestion. I don't know whether it makes any sense to anybody. Please, I'm very sorry if I offend anybody.
No. Look, you are welcome, Mr. Lucky A.
Yeah. Thank you.
We welcome every view. Don't worry yourself. Throw it out there. It's a public forum.
Forefather cannot do anything. Don't be scared of him. You are scared of Forefather. You can't do nothing.
Please feel free to join us.
I think it's a brilliant suggestion.
Yes, I also think that would have that portion would have been solved if he took it. But let's hear what Forefather will say, because Forefather may have a question.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you a question. I wanted to ask a Dexter question. Oh God.
No, not ask me a question because
a clarification, because I mean, see, sometimes
it will soon get to you. Then you ask the question. Forefather, make your comment.
I don't know why they are saying I'm going to have a go at him. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure his position, but he did say that Jonathan asked Siollun to try to participate. That is not a bad thing. Siollun should have taken the opportunity, but he seems not to want to do that, other than to run for an election that he's not going to win and become president overnight. But that said, I heard about what's his name? Talked about how whether we are being governed. It's one thing to be governed or controlled by foreigners, and it's another thing to take a posture of trying to break that control. Not to acquire the control and actually reassure them that their control is actually very much on. That is not what you do as a human being. The first point of call is, this is why Bob Marley says something about the first thing you have to do is emancipate your own mind. If you keep allowing yourself to be in the prisoner mindset, how can you possibly see a way out? You will not even look at the walls. If you are jailed in a prison and you want to escape, you are not busy looking at how the locks are, how people escape from there. How are you going to do it? The only solution they keep coming back is let's go back to 18-something. Let's go back to the arrangement that got us into this mess. Come up with something new, something innovative that we've never seen before. Because I can assure you, That's the only thing that can defeat your enemies. Your enemies have known you, they've tasted your blood, and they've had it for centuries now. And you think you're going to go back there and you think they are fools? As a matter of fact, they've gotten smarter over time, gotten more equipped, capable to deal with us if they see fit. And you want to approach it in the same way. That's why I consider that dangerous. You are an intelligent man. If you are intelligent, use your intellect well, think outside the box. And in terms of our situation, when I was talking about why difficulties, the things we have, the challenges we have, sometimes catalytic events needs to occur. There's nothing you can do. You can say a leader can do that, can choose to do that. I don't know how many Nigerians have the stomach to be able to do what it takes to that inertia that this Masker describes, to move us from that inertia to where it is. When you ask people here right now, if you take action, it's going to cost 1 million lives. Many of them will say,
mass murder.
Will run. Hold on. You see that? This is my point.
Mass murder.
because you don't understand that these things are serious. People are already dying for free. And do you even understand that? Do you know how many people are going to die in the next 20 years in Nigeria?
Industrial scale.
See, let me say what I want to say. The reason why I say this is that this is exactly why. Because we think this is going to be easy. The person that put us in here, the people that put us in here, put us in a cage, whereby if you want to get out of it, you have to pay the necessary price. Because it cost them a lot to put us in this cage. They didn't get it easy. They paid a heavy price to get the civilization that they have today. Russia lost 28 million. China 50-something million. God knows how many India and the West lost. You think you're going to just say, oh, I want food, I want food, I want food. That's how you're going to get out of it. Maybe that's what you want to think. But I can tell you right now, if I'm the one sitting on that their chair, you are not coming near us. Because I will look at you like you are an inbred. You are not qualified to be on the same chair as I am. Because my forefathers have paid the blood to get to where I got to. What have you done? What have you done for this world to say you deserve to be in the same chair as they are? Have you cracked the atom? Have you cracked quantum physics? You have not done anything. All you ask is for food, and you expect to be at the top of the world. You can't.
Papa, have they used broom to fly?
No. Hold on. You've never done anything like that. And you want to call yourself. No wonder they call us boys. No wonder they refer to us as boys, because most of our people, they think this is a joke business. Like, this is not life and death situation. Those people, they understand that.
Forefather, hold on.
Yes.
Because we are running out of time, I want to add 2 more minutes to you so you can equally round up.
I appreciate that.
Thoughts. Yes.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. You have been very generous. So the point is that that's the reason why I say we are not ready. And it will take something catalytic to happen. And I don't think we are unusual. That's how other nations are. It's not only us. China went through it. Japan went through all this hell too. All of them went through hell. But they came out on the other side. We've not been tested that way. That's the problem.
India
went through it too. Do you know how many Indians lost? India, they were eating from they call it sheep to mouth.
Biafra,
we are fighting ourselves. And we're not fighting first world conflict. We're not fighting Russians. We're not fighting the British.
Was India fighting an external power?
Yeah. They're engaged. The Chinese took a land from them. Why do you think India went nuclear? Chinese took their land.
Was Chinese a world power when they were fighting them? Was China a world power?
No, you guys leave it to conclude.
Yeah, China was a nuclear power in 1965.
Don't use his time.
China was a nuclear power in 1965.
Oh, God.
So 1965, 5 years, even before our civil war, China had already gone nuclear. They went outside the control of the British and the Americans and went nuclear. We are busy fighting ourselves. They've already fought themselves. They had Taiwan. They had their own nation, and they built it from there. Even North Koreans that were destroyed, they built their country. All we keep talking about is food. And the one we are talking about today is have conversation. Let's have conversation. Let's keep having conversation. The world is moving on. They are not waiting for us. We can have conversation and build our nation too. Our future depends on it. This is not optional. I can tell you this. Maybe you might think this is, maybe if I do it, it's okay. If I don't do it, it's all right. No. If you don't do it, your children are not going to make it. There's no point. Don't bother. Thank you.
Thank you, forefather. We
So
have
it's
to do it
not on the
now.
KJ, right?
If we
Round
don't
up,
do
right?
it now, hold on, Mr. Oti.
Oh God.
Our children may not stand it. And I agree with forefather. You see, the Bible puts it this way: the small demon you refuse to fight will become a principality in your children's time. That's the way it goes. Whether you like his point or not, the truth is that what you live to fight today will become a monster to fight your children. Okay, let's hear from you, Oti.
Okay. Yes, I actually because I like to have answers in not talk as others would have it. Actually, I mean real answers and solutions, and that's why when people are talking, I want them to get to the logical end of what they're saying. I listened to Dexter, and I agree with his trend of thoughts. He talked about um, yes, mindset or something like that, change of mindset, and also the role we in the diaspora, except of course the masker here, who is in Nigeria, the role we have to play. Yes, I agree with all of that. No, but I still want to, press him really to let him tell us that mindset he's talking about in the case of Musk, I said inertia. So what is that singular thing? Just one thing that needs to be done. Okay, that perhaps we in diaspora can do to bring about that change, or at least to set the change, the process in gang. What is there must be something. Okay, is there something you can think of? It's not. I'm asking you, Dexter. Can you really, if you like, yes.
Uh,
In other words, that's the concrete the answer I'm looking for. There must be. You didn't finish the
uh,
thought, so yes, I'm giving you the opportunity.
yeah. Thank you, Oti. Um, I think, uh, I think it's presently. I think if people in diaspora want to make an impact, first of all, it must be strategic in the sense that
No, we're talking, not talking, okay? Because
okay,
we're talking now, not talking. So yeah, something else.
uh, okay. So I would say um, at this stage, okay, if people in diaspora want to make an impact, okay, I'll say if the people in diaspora come together and decide that okay, we're going to invest in education, okay, we're going to invest in education, and we're going to ensure that I think they are doing it in government college Juma here right now. You invest in education, and you're going to make sure that education is going to be at par anywhere in the world. So people in diaspora are funding that education. So you make sure that every student that comes out from that education system is at par. It's like comes out from college and can walk into Harvard.
Can I stop you there? Can I stop you there? So
Yes.
we're dealing with the CSE, intensive unit, okay? A country that is an intensive unit.
Okay.
What is the time frame? So now listen, can I let me help you? Maybe make a suggestion, because unless
Yeah.
if you don't agree with the
Yeah, I'm
proposition.
listening. I'm listening.
Okay, so now because I so much believe in this thing they call restructuring or reconstitution of Nigeria. Okay, to me the framework is everything, the structure. Okay, and then even the mindset you're talking about can't change in the vacuum. There has to be kind of a system, supporting system. So, and if the people in diaspora kind of come together and push and see to it that the country actually is restructured, power is decentralized. The attraction of the center is removed, and then the regions or the provinces have autonomy. Okay, and then yes, how about it? If it is one thing we kind of lend all our weight. Okay,
Uh,
so
that
is that
is
not something to
Okay,
okay.
have?
no,
Because I believe in restructuring.
Uh,
no, please let him conclude. I'm concluding. You are taking more than the time that we're giving to you.
so
You don't
KJ,
want
don't
us
worry.
to take
KJ, I have no point again to make.
Okay,
So
good.
I'm
Okay,
agreeing.
so now when you
So
can ask that question if you don't have any
yes,
point.
yeah. So I agree with you, Oti. That's when you say restructuring, rejigging Nigeria. However, do you know why it's going to be very difficult to rejig Nigeria right now? You heard the statement of Juan Kwaso. You had a foremost leader in the north saying something that can. So if you try to, if the moment you say you want to restructure Nigeria, example, I like that. You know, the feeding bottle approach is killing the country. But that is a very sensitive topic because what are they telling the person in Mubi, the village in Adamawa? They are telling him that the government wants to impoverish you. The people that are reaching out, I mean, look at Kwankwaso saying that the Tinubu government is focusing on the north and they are, you know, that was as much as I don't support this administration, that was a disingenuous statement. So
no, but it's not for one individual to kind of agree or disagree, you know. So
how will you get
if it is the real solution, it has to be.
It won't work.
You know,
it won't work. It's the same thing that happened in the confab. You have people from a section of the country that will not agree to that.
No. But then what do you do then? What do you do?
So one of the things you can do, Oti, is this: you get a leader that can make the people in that region see that there is actually resources where they are, so they won't be afraid. It's simple.
Some of what you are asking, Maska already discussed that. Maska said so that if you want to go and talk to people in Kano, you don't take an Okechukwu to go and talk to them. You take a Musa to go and talk to them. If you want to go and talk to people in the east, you don't go with Musa to go to east. You take an Okechukwu to go there. If you want to go to the west, you take Bola Tinubu to go there. You don't take somebody from the middle belt to go and talk to people there, so that they will have confidence in the people who are talking to them. Assuming that these people, these leaders from those regions agree with what you're saying. That has always been the issue. The issue in Nigeria is not the ordinary people in the street. It's the leadership that move the people. There is what you call the opinion molders in every society. They may not necessarily be the richest people in the society, but they have a way of directing everybody's thought to whatever they are thinking. Those are the people. In fact, we saw it some time ago when Nigeria was still, you know, a little better. We have Professor Jerry Ghana. Nobody in Nigeria who didn't know about MAMSA and what MAMSA did and how he was able to preach that message around the country. People accepted it. Okay? That is how when he said, if you're a governor, govern well. If you're a carpenter, carpenter well. If you're a trader, trade. It was a mantra that moved around Nigeria. Okay? People were gotten from their. In fact, I know the guy they took. He's now late in Benue, who was my friend's uncle. So Makiga was the one who was in charge of the MAMSA office in Benue, a clean, straight guy. Okay, the people who were people who could be people that people can say, no, this person is a nice person. Those are the people who were picked up to run those offices. Whether they were able to succeed nationwide or not, that's meant to be said. But that's what we are saying here. We look at people who are able to change the mindset of their people. We little few or at a given time, and then the society can now take a new leaf and begin to look for something extraordinary. Now we can begin to think of a nation building. If we cannot do that, then how else can we move forward? That's a different question for another day, and let us not go there. Master, please say this thing so that we can round up this issue.
All right, thank you, KJ. And I'll just more or less like recap what I've said. Me, I am convinced that the country is divided into three. It's not the north, west, east division. The real division is there are people at the top. Somebody like Kwankwaso can say what he would say, but in truth, the same Tinubu that he says is spreading the country, they have been in the same party for a while. Okay, they will meet, they will talk. If there's a wedding, they will all go and do it together. There are people at the top. We are in the middle, and we are all educated. And the good thing is, most of you guys are in diaspora. You can say what you want to say. You can insult anybody you want to insult. The long hand that it will be difficult to pass through the ocean to reach you. Okay, so we in the middle are the ones that should take responsibility. We should take responsibility. The small resources we have, let's pull it together. The different ideas that we have, let's shake it and make it look like a singular idea so that we can all agree on what is the way forward. If we all agree that the country should be divided, we at the middle can then agree. If we all agree that, okay, the division can happen, but not now, we have to bring some semblance of change. Let's all agree on that. But I think the middle people, you and me, must have to agree on certain common goals and certain commitments, certain resources, certain timeline, certain ideology. I will agree with Oti. We continue to talk, it would still remain the same. We have to take some positive steps. That's first step. We've taken it already by discussing the issues, but we have to begin to organize at that middle level, because the lower people were thinking would do anything. They can't do anything. They will do nothing. Like I said, if you think one day, 1st of October or 12th June or any other, on a Christmas day, on a Saturday, suddenly there is going to be change, it's not going to happen. That's the bad news for all of us. If we don't do anything, like AJ said, it may be a smaller thing for us to do now. But if we leave it, actually, I think one day we'll just wake up, all Black people have been exterminated from the face of the earth. It may come to that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Master. And it's something for us all to take home and go and chew. Comrade.
Yeah, thank you, moderator. My final submission will be that we as a people, we are not ready for the change we talk about. There should be more of action than talking. Talk cannot take us anywhere. It's good to talk. Talk without action. Even the Holy Book says, if you have faith without work, it's dead. Your faith cannot move you from one point to the other. If you believe in what you want to be, as you pray, also make effort so that he can, through your effort, he can move you from point A to point B. We deceive ourselves too much, and our division is, I think I made a submission earlier that the politicians are even too lenient. Given the kind of people we are, given the level of our gullibility and subserviency, and they are too lenient. If Tinubu, for example, want a third term now with the capitalized Senate, he will get it. If you want a life president to be signed for him, people are ready to sign for him. People will be glad for that. People are here among us that are looking for their way to either to get into the federal level or in their various states. They want to join. The real language in their heart, they talk with you here, one-on-one. But the real language in their heart is if you cannot be there, you join them. How do you survive like that as a nation? We are so divided along religion, tribal lines, along the political affinity, that we live in the object and pursue the shadow. We're dealing with the symptom. Tinubu, for example, if you feel Buhari was bad, and you feel Tinubu is worse than Buhari, those are not the issues. Those are mere symptoms. As long as we continue to address the symptoms without dealing with the ailment, we go nowhere as a nation. And that's it there. I have a lot to say, but time will not permit me. We know the most among us. We have agents among us. The more we argue among ourselves, the better for the politicians. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Revolution, because you are bringing revolution, I'm going to give you more time so I can talk. More than 2 minutes, so take 3 minutes.
Before I say anything, can you just give me a few points that was on the... Because when I joined, I thought you were just finishing one point that I missed. If you just give me... Yeah, please.
So, what we're talking about now, what we're rounding up now is a critical question that forefather had raised, and which is that, well, Nigeria now, what's the best way to sort ourselves? Well, how do we meet? How do we organize ourselves to get it going forward? Okay. What is your take? Yes, people have discussed a lot of things, but this is what I can be able to bring out right now. If you are still not clear, if you wait for Ovie can speak, and then you speak last.
No, let me take it from there.
Okay.
You see, I come from the street, and if you are from the street, self-educated, the little education I have, I gave it to myself. I can say that proudly. Nigeria, when people talk about religion, tribe, north, south, east, sometimes I just laugh at Nigerians, I'm laughing at 85% of Nigerians, because 85% of Nigerians are this type of Nigeria like Tinubu. Then the remaining 15, that's 15 that we have. I mean, the 10%, the other 5%, they are the people they call, like my brother was saying, if you can't beat them, join them. So Superhead is pushing them to that 85% because nothing is changing. So, you see, in Nigeria, when we divide ourselves, Nigeria is divided into two groups. The rich, or the people connected, and people like us in the streets, we have to fight our way through life. You understand me? And that is why the problem of Nigeria cannot solve. There can never be a solution into Nigeria. Whether Obi enter, enter, or any Messiah comes in, ADC and whatever, all these are just that normal Nigerian story we used to know. All these church people will come, religious people, they give us this, give us that. They say this one don't talk. We turn night vigil to night shift and all those type of stories. One time you go say, oh boy, be like saying that guy, they get up. Nigeria, until Nigeria, for example, believe that equality is the only solution to that country. You understand what I'm saying? Peter Toy sang one song. I don't need no peace. All I need is equal rights. And Nigeria is very far away from those type of things. You understand me? When some people come here, they just talk their own. Today is the first day I agree with forefathers. I never agree with him. But when I joined, he was making a point that was making my heart sweet. He was telling you that, how can you respect a black man? You want America to sit with us. You want Japan to sit with us. Who are you? What have you given to this world, or even to yourself, that they should sit with you on the same table? Ordinary election, we cannot make election. What they are telling us is, now so that they do and go and find coalition. Nobody is talking about how can we demonstrate that INEC should be dismantled, so that if we make an election, the winner will enter. Nobody is talking about that one. Educated people will tell us that it's only coalition. APC, they did coalition. That's why they remove Jonathan. So we should also do the same coalition. KJ, I don't know whether they make sense to this topic.
You make plenty sense now. You make plenty sense.
So to conclude, because normally I don't like to waste my time too much, because it will be like I repeat myself. For example, let me end with this. If somebody like me now, in my dream, or sometimes they dream some kind of wonderful dream, I go just see myself as president of Nigeria. Do you know the first thing I did? I closed all private school in that country. That's the first thing I did, was no more private school. Everybody have to go to the same school. This is how Nigeria can solve that problem. You don't go tell me, say you're speaking, they go private school. Then another Peking there for school, if rain they fall, they go begin cry because the rain they fall them, they wet their books, they wet their uniform. Una go come, they tell me, say Nigeria, una they find solution to Nigeria. Are they all not Nigerians? And the second thing I would do, any religious house in Nigeria, I will close it down and turn them to factories. Because those are the biggest problem, hampering the confidence of Nigeria. They will tell you, no, don't worry, let us pray. If God will do it. All the churches in Nigeria and the mosques in Nigeria, what have God done for us? Every street in Nigeria, you will find a church there or a mosque. Have we helped that country? No. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Yes. Ovie. Yeah, mom, what they say? What they out, man?
Ovie, I thought you said Ovie will speak last. Why?
Okay, all right. Oh, sorry, bro, you are back. Okay, you can go now. So you leave my main mon in a different style. You will come in the last man.
Rasta man.
Yes, go ahead.
It has been wonderful again to be here with everybody, and every day our reason of coming here, we learn from each other every day. For me personally, I learn from everybody because the world we live in is all about learning. Every day is education, not only in the classroom. So appreciate everybody presence today, and no matter from whatever angle each and every one of us are coming from, we are speaking in one voice. What is that? We want a better country called Nigeria. How to prefer solutions to it. or how to agree on how to find solution to it. It has always been the issue we come here to talk about every day. Like I said, when we are talking about law and order, I said that individually we have different way we are trying to make Nigeria work. Behind the scene, the world might not see what we are saying, even what we are talking here. And I am using myself as an example. I said that everything I am doing, if I'm looking at the bigger picture of Nigeria, you cannot have the grace or the strength to do anything. So I am doing the little that I can do from my family, from my village, from my kindred, to my town, to my local government, and to the state. And that's the only way we can continue to contribute. But my own appeal to all of us who are seeking for a better Nigeria, if you want to seek a political office, do not be discouraged, because when we are discouraged, we leave the political space for the same people we are talking about we want to change. For me personally, I am not going to seek any political office. I am 62 right now. The younger ones can do it. But my contribution is to make sure that the little that I can, like what I did in 2023, or what each and every one of us did, those who printed a polo shirt, those who did t-shirt, everybody has contributed one way or the other to make Nigeria work. So we shouldn't be discouraged. We should continue to do what we are doing. While we are talking, in any small way that you can do to contribute, to encourage those that want to be part of it, I will encourage us to encourage the people, the younger ones that want to be part of it. But the point, one of our biggest problems, the younger ones that we want, they are busy creating content creators, showing their nyash and their backside on the internet, trying to make money. And at the end of the day, they are complaining about the situation in Nigeria. So if everybody is a content creator in Nigeria right now, the same youth we're talking about, everybody is a content creator. So it's too difficult for us to get the younger ones who are going to take over or try to be part of the political system. So for me, no matter how hard it is, no matter how painful and difficult it is, I am still a Nigerian. And everywhere that I go, I'm still a Nigerian, right?
Okay.
So I want to end by letting you know by this week, by the special grace of God, I'll be going on vacation for 1 month. So probably you might not see me online. Probably if my wife and my grandkids can allow me, squeeze me to come to join on platform once in a while, maybe. If not, for 1 month, I'm going to be out of my island. I have to go and rest, think less about Nigeria, close everything that has to do with Nigeria and their Nigerian trouble, and think about my family and enjoy myself, because who knows tomorrow? I need to enjoy my life at 62. I'm not working. I'm still in the office. I'm not working that I want to become Eze tomorrow. But I am just using it as an exercise to reach the time I'm going to retire, to have a good life for myself. So
yeah.
Thank you, brother KJ. Thank you for everybody. I wish each and every one of us the best of the week. Enjoy your day. One love. Always remember that love conquers every fear.
Yes,
it doesn't matter how we might disagree. God bless you all.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you, and have a wonderful
and I'll see you soon. A bientôt.
Family, and enjoy yourself. I don't know if they sell snail and offense like there, even though I would have recommended it for you. But if not, enjoy whatever you can find there. All right.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. October 2028. I don't know why I want me to call that name, because that man is.
Don't worry, we're negotiating for a long time. After Edo, we will go federal.
Okay. If Tinubu can be president, what more? There's somebody who knows do Tinubu self.
Nigeria belongs to both the literate and the illiterate, both the foolish and the stupid. Everybody has the right. Everybody has the rights to govern. It's a competition. Beat me if you can.
Now so.
To Mr. Ike, as you go on your vacation, I want you to, try to reconcile that with the fact that the future of Nigeria belongs to Nya Shakers and Igbo smokers. So,
Okay, you have
so
1 minute left.
no, I beg you. So yes, as you said, Bob Marley said, they say, see, they are fighting for power, but they don't know not the hour. There's a saying that says, a group that agrees together is a mob, while a group that disagree is a market. As a Nigerian, if you think some people are not doing what they ought to do, go do it. It's allowed. That's the spirit of the Nigeria that is free for everybody. Tunanja talked about China that I totally agree with. My only problem with Tunanja is that once you they give accurate stat like that, try as much as you can to give example or analyze how they lead to that place. I understand even when you are giving example, because some people never hear them before, they will say you are a conspiracy theorist. Before 1970, when Xi Jinping opened China up, to the west, how were they living? How was the state? Because that was when they built the nuclear weapon that Tunanja is talking about, and it was right. As at that time, everybody they work the same. Everybody's on equal salary. There's nothing like promotion. Everybody is giving the best to the country. You know why they make it happen? That's the sacrifice you have to make. It doesn't matter if you're a PhD holder or you go school. You have to give your service on equal pay. Now, the hard part, how did that make that happen? The central government had to make sure in every organization, every institution, even at that time, as we did here, so one of their soldiers go there where they, from the federal government go there where they listen. So everybody was monitored. So when they see China open up to the world, that is what they took off. They took that anger, that trap on everybody's side, that watchdog, and the Chinese people explode with their talent. Everybody begin open up business. That's what you are seeing today. And that's exactly we, who are pushing back to the federalists like the Tunanja. We're not saying we don't want to live together. Just allow us to be free. Explore our creativity without necessarily going to Abuja ask for regulation. That's not up to us. You have your own assignment. You protect us from witches and wizards of our side. But how, and as also man, to farm, how to do his own thing, let me do it. I'm not going to betray the overall federation. Free us. That just is the simplest way to put what we are asking for. And once you free Nigerians, everybody should do, explore his talent. Now, only God know what we will do. The reason why brains the japa, it is because we cannot protect it. I always they talk am. What you cannot protect is not yours. The brain who are jackpotting, it is because we cannot protect them. There's nothing for them to do. You are studying computer engineering to do what? So at the end of the day, that person will go. So it is you have to understand the system that is at play. So people who are pushing hard on the federalists, it's not that they don't understand the overall survival of the whole territory. Depends on the collective or how big the country is. That is understandable. But at the same time, in order for us to start competitive with our fellow citizens around the world, let me be. Right? If you pay attention to the changes that is happening to the Trump administration, they are deregulating the regulation that they suppressed the AI explosion before. So at every speech he will say, I am that president that is known to deregulate. You will see the creativity of America will explode beyond what we have ever seen. So that's exactly what we are asking for. Chinese did it, yes. As soon as they leave that sanction, as in the government leave the Chinese people to be Chinese, even though there's a settings of control, allow them to be Chinese anywhere they are. It was the story changed. So that's what Nigerians are asking. As a Bayelsa man, allow Bayelsa man to get license without going to Abuja to tap his oil. You as an Fulani elder, let everybody explore this creativity with this environment without overlord, just as breathing on your neck at every moment. We are not going to progress like that. It doesn't matter how safe and secure we are. It is good. That is the ultimate goal. But the creativity need to take its center stage at this point. That's what Nigerians are asking for.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ovie. I really appreciate your final contribution. As a mark of respect to the moderators, I give Forefather 1 minute to make a closing remark.
Wow, that doesn't seem fair to Okpagolo, but I'm going to respond to him now. Thank you. I really appreciate it. This is
I didn't disagree with you now.
because
I just
no,
complimented
no,
what
No,
not
you're
on the
saying.
bigger point. It's
not
about the
necessary
state
to
one.
attack him. It's just to give
Uh,
honor you. That's why I'm giving you that.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
necessary.
It's just the state one. About sovereignty of states. I think when we ask for sovereignty of state, we should ask why and whether what we perceive in other areas is actually real. Because most of the, like even Switzerland, that they have cantons, the powers the cantons have is not so dissimilar in real terms than what our states have. As a matter of fact, the cantons, the leaders of the cantons are not immune from prosecution, just like the state governors in America are not immune. But in Nigeria, they are. So what kind of level of sovereignty is that? Then in terms of the areas like policing, like most of us always complain about, that is an issue of constitutional amendment that they are actually having conversations now, and that should happen. In terms of resource control, the amount that the American government takes from the states is higher than the amount the Nigerian government takes from the states. You know, the South actually have a special arrangement where they give them extra in this, even if NDDC seems to be able to take the money back to Abuja again somehow, but they actually assign them a lot of money. So we need to study these things and say, okay, where is it Nigeria is lacking, and let's argue for those ones. If you argue for those ones, maybe there's merit for it. But to say that we don't have autonomy in the states, I don't know. Maybe we should check it more to actually understand what is it we are actually lacking, because our governors are stupid powerful. I've done the first minister of Scotland, that's the leader of Scotland in the UK, that is supposed to be its own nation, that they even go to their own Olympics and they have their own football team. It's not immune from prosecution. It's not immune.
Sorry,
Our governors are immune.
No. Oti, we're not going there. We're not going there.
So I will stop now.
But I like where you are going. I think we are making progress.
No,
The way we
we're
did.
not going there. We're not going there, gentlemen. All right. Forefather, thank you. I think you have made your point, and I like the way you've brought it. I will, Chris, you are a very valuable member of this team. I'm going to give you 1 minute. I wouldn't have brought you in, but you made a very useful contribution the last time you were here. So I'm giving you 1 minute to make your input, and then we'll call it a wrap.
Oh yeah, sorry. The reason why I came in, I didn't want to come in because I've been listening at the background. But you have to make me a promise this Sunday. We have to, go through this, some kind of this kind of topic so that I will have time to come in. Because what I've discovered is like we may be suffering from the challenge of educated illiterates, and then it's not like they are not educated, but they are illiterate on certain issues which they need to be enlightened on. And then, then from there we can discuss how how to solve the problem of the quagmire that is called Nigeria today. So for me, actually, I was listening and then I realized on the issues around, especially minority and ethnicity, we need to interrogate these issues very well so that we understand them and understand why. That is where we're missing the point, and where if we get it right, that's where the solution to this quagmire is.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chris. I will try and find another day that we can talk about that. I just want to let somebody also know that we used to have, when we were operating the regional governments, we had all the regions had their own embassies. The Biafra embassy was in London, and every other region had their. You see, if we can fall back there, we'll have little or no conflict at all. People can develop at their level. But if you keep thinking that this what we have is going to hold for a long time, it may not be so. On that faithful note, I will say thank you very much, forefathers. I really appreciate your coming in and giving us your thoughts. Very valuable, very enlightening, very conversational. And Oti, thank you also for being on point and asking the pertinent questions. Sometimes those questions draw out more from people. And Mr. Ike, thank you so much. Have a blessed celebration as you go for your holidays. You know, relax, enjoy yourself, and pray more. And you know, don't fast while you're going there. It's not a fasting time. It's a time to go and eat. All right. So thank you. Ovie, thank you so much. You and I, you know, I don't know if you ever listen to Yellow Man. I would like to let you go take one of Yellow Man and listen to Yellow Man, the London Code. You may enjoy some good sound from there. Our Gregory Isaac and Tipper Ire. I don't know if you listen to those kind of people. You know, we were there before. It's just not Jesus.
Those are my teachers. Those are my teachers. But that Yellow Man, I'm not really into it, but I'll go with it now. But those other guys are my teachers. Yes.
Okay. Tipper Ire, Gregory Isaac, and yeah, those
Even
guys.
one go local or is Wiliki. You know, Dr. Lameji, they play. Dr. Lameji, they always play this guy, Majek Pashek.
Yes.
Literally, a couple of months ago, I met one man that actually played guitar for him. When that video when they show for night show for New York when he was in New York.
Yeah.
The guy that worked with him, that played guitar with him from Jamaica, I met him a couple of months ago here in Florida.
Yeah.
When I go buy something for that one store, he was telling me
was something else. In fact, we believed that he was going to take over from Bob Marley, but you see, I don't know when we have this, we'll come to an end of having this near success.
Introduce those people to Nigeria, to Nigeria. Nigeria is too young for those guys. Now them Portable, now they to Nigeria, no Portable, Whiskey, and all that.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I know Ika Mouse and all of them. What are you talking about? You don't have a clue what you're talking about. You don't know.
You know, I don't think you know those
people. Bouncing and all of them. You are looking at you. What are you talking about?
The Chris Okotie, the Judo Obi, the Feliz Liberty, and the rest of them.
Do you even know Ika Mouse? You don't know Ika Mouse. No,
Ika Mouse.
Yeah.
You know, but Fofana, I wanted to ask you. There's a Liberty Park in London. They used to have one guy who goes there to criticize government. I don't know. We used to listen to him those days now when we were secondary school. Is he still there? I'm trying to know.
I know that there is this place that they go and have conversations, debates amongst each other in somewhere in central London. But
yeah, the guy he wasn't a Polish guy, but he was so knowledgeable that people used to fear to debate him. Those parliamentarians used to fear because he would just finish them. You know, what's his name? I try to remember his name. I wanted to ask you if the guy is still around. You know, because people like David Rodigan, I don't know if you know David Rodigan, you know, I searched him out. He's still there. He was the one who brought Yellow Man to Limelight, and most of the Jamaican musicians, he brought them to Limelight in London. You can search him out. David Rodigan, that's his name.
Okay, and, I'll check out.
Yeah, he's a DJ. He's you know, he should be in his late maybe 60s now. But
I won't forget our own Lucky Dube.
Yeah, Lucky Dube and all that, you know, Lucky Dube.
That's Kimono,
and
Lucky
the guy
Dube.
in Cameroon, the guy in Senegal.
Good night now. Good night.
The guy, good night, sir. The guy in Senegal.
Oti was not present in all of them. He was
Oti na massive.
Oti belongs to the Oliver the Coco level, you know, Oliver the Coco. You know.
No.
Dry Chibete kind of people.
You know.
All right. Yes. Exactly. Okay, thank you so much, guys. It's been wonderful. Comrade, thank you so much. Your contributions are very you know, appreciated.
Comrade, na them Olisa Debi na be the comrade, the Baba Prayo.
All right. Thank you so much, comrade. Thank you so much, Ovie. God bless you all, and we'll meet again, same time, same station. All right, and yeah, see you soon. All right, that is it, gentlemen and ladies, those on the panel, Mr. Blackstone, who was able to support us with 2 cups of tea, one for me, one for Forefather. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support, your kindness, and your contribution. I just want to say, before you sign out, if you can just click and like it so that this channel can be recommended for other people so that we can have more people viewing it. the more the merrier. Thank you all the people in the panel who have contributed their time and treasure being here. I really, really, really appreciate you guys, because without an audience, we'll just be talking to ourselves and there'll be no fun in it. But today's been quite a discussion. We didn't get to all our topics, but we'll still pick another day, and we'll be dealing with how do we move Nigeria forward, since let's see if that is the way that the discussion can maybe benefit other people. What are those indices or things that we should remove from the plug so that the wheel can turn much faster? And then what do we put in that can make us be a more desirable nation in the face of the earth? None of us growing up thought that Nigeria will be where we are today, but here we are, and God will help us to move forward. Having said that, I want to appreciate each and every one of you. I want to appreciate Dr. Damages for this platform and indeed bringing us all together to harmonize ideas and discuss. I want to say this: there's no one who comes to this platform, whether he says it directly or indirectly, that doesn't want Nigeria to progress. We all like, nobody who doesn't like his mama. No, even if your mama soup, no, even if you know sweet, na your mama soup, you will like them. And so is also when it comes to the Nigerian situation. But sometimes out of the fact that you've lost out in all the ideas to move forward, you want to say, you know what, let us call it a good night. But if we can, and yes we can help to move the nation forward. I thank you so much. I thank you for also Dr. Max, who came here and enlightened us. Very, very educative what he's talked about. I recommend that his books, search them out and then read to get more clarity to what he discussed today. And on that note, I want to say thank you to Dr. Rudolph for this platform. I want to say thank you for being out there, for following us gently. Even though our ideas may not have made sense for you today, but join us next week also. Maybe next week will be a better discussion for you and I. Based on that faithful note, I want to call our young sister who has been going places, and we really pray that she goes places, because she's full of talent. And I also want to say on this platform, if you have your traditional dances that we can air for you, please send them to Dr. Damages, and they can also air it. It's not only Igbo song that we only end what we can lay our hands on, and what we know that will not run, that will not be flagged. If you have music that is good and that we are allowed to play, please send them, and we do well to use them also in this platform. On that faithful note, thank you so very much, and have a good night.
Chukuna malugo yo biadi ocha Agaranya chogo kowe bili Agaranya chogo kowe rienio Owe chuku bezie chuku
1,911,844,833 naira and 46. I'll take that again. 1,911,000,000 1,911,844 billion 1 trillion. This money is too much for me. 1 trillion. I hope that is not on the record. 1 trillion 911 billion 840